All right, welcome back, TLS fans. We have one more series for you today. It's going to be Big Bird Club versus Silvermanes. Big Bird Club has gone undefeated so far. Would be a shame if they were to falter at the very last moment. Let's get straight into picks and bans for game number one. Will be Silvermanes on the blue side. BBC have elected the red side, and these bans are coming thick and fast. Darius, Mbessa, and Syndra going to be the bans for game number one for Silvermanes. Big Bird Club will elect to ban the Xin, the Wukong, and the Shen. So a lot of top lane focus here for both of these teams. Of course, a decent amount of jungle focus for both of them as well. Darius, we just saw in the jungle. And Mbessa, obviously a flex. Also saw in the jungle recently. Xin and Wukong, both jungle picks, of course, can be picked top as well. And Shen, really only two positions, top lane and support. But Silvermanes, they have started off with a Bard pick, and this is very interesting. Normally, I would not like a Bard as a first pick, but it is such an influential pick. And if you could play it really well, it's kind of nuts. And of course, we know how good Dank Pingu is on that support role, so will be interesting to see how that works out. Seraphine and Senna going to be the pickup for BBC. A very difficult lane to play into. Seraphine can definitely play off of Senna very well. And vice versa, of course. Setting each other up very interestingly in the bot lane. BBC have picked themselves a reasonably strong bot lane here. Silvermanes, what will they respond with? The Ziggs going to come out, and that could be mid or ADC. Has been played a little bit more typically ADC, I think, but we haven't really seen it a whole lot in TLS, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to tell exactly where this is going. Silvermanes not wanting to pinch more of the jungle pool will hover the Jarvan here. We'll take a little bit of time to think about it. We'll see if that does get locked in. Indeed, it will. The Silvermanes have likely picked their bot lane and their jungle here. Ziggs Bard should have a decent time into Big Bird Club, but ooh, the Dr. Mundo locked in for the side of BBC, and that's going to make life very difficult for the Ziggs. That Mundo will be able to run him down relatively easily. But we're going to return to the bans. BBC will be starting us off. Where do they want to pinch? Ziggs is a flex. Genetics does play it in the mid lane. Going to be a Malphite ban. Not really wanting their carries to get hard hit from that top laner. Or potentially mid, if it is a Ziggs ADC. Silvermanes, though, will elect to ban the Annie. And this is a decent ban into Ziggs. While Ziggs does have better range than Annie, Annie makes life particularly difficult for that Ziggs. Will be interesting to see. RX Genetics has been talking a lot in the server about how he wants to play Twisted Fate. Okay. Goodbye, Urgot. Polaris will not be on his signature champ for this game number one. Likely does not want to pull it out this early in the draft anyway, but Silvermanes will elect to take the Renekton here. BBC. Their turn to pick. What do they want to prioritize here? Will be the Gnar, and I'm not entirely sure that I like this from BBC. Dr. Mundo is a flex between jungle and top lane. By showing the Gnar, they show exactly where that champion's going to be, but the Seraphine is still a flex, could go to the mid lane, so not necessarily showing all of their picks here. Do want to leave some flexibility for themselves. Mid lane is going to be a bit more influential, but of course we know how strong Polaris is, and if given the opportunity to counterpick, he will absolutely take it. Passio going to come out for the side of Silvermanes in that mid lane. This champ is going to be a little bit interesting, and it does mean the Ziggs will go bottom, so a lot of AP on the side of Silvermanes. I'd like to see some stronger AD come out for them. Mundo is going to be really hard to go through with all the damage they have is AP. Jarvan, of course, does have some AD. Okay, the Camille coming out for the side of Silvermanes. And this is an interesting comp that they've drafted for themselves. There's some team fight, some pick, and a decent amount of disengage, but also pretty decent amount of engage as well. The Jarvan doing very well. Bard, of course, and Cassio working well together to disengage. Camille allows them to go forward and play very well off of that Cataclysm. A lot of lockdown drafted now for Silvermane's. Ahri going to be the final choice for BDC. So Seraphine will be going bottom with the Senna. All right, and welcome back. Game number 1, Big Bird Club taking on Silvermane's. Silvermane's, as mentioned in draft, a little more scaling.
Minions have spawned.
In this particular matchup, especially with the Cassio, who really needs a lot of gold to get rolling. Gave the fishes an early ward on that Mundo. Polaris trying to find a little bit of a cheeky play. Did take a little bit of damage. Did take the Ignite as well, so really wants to go aggressive on this Gnar. Inbred Loser needs to be a little bit careful to how he plays this matchup. Pingu looking for some aggressive plays, but Chicken Thuggy finds the first bit of damage. Gems, of course, will be weak side this game. Pingu will be roaming a lot, and so good safety drafted for the side of Silvermane's. The ability for Demps to just sit back, farm the wave with that Q. Only thing to be worried about is that later stage of the game. Once Mundo gets a couple of items, it's going to be very difficult for these AP carries to do any damage. Speaking of damage, though, Seafill and Genetics really fighting it out. Seafill taking incredibly low on this Ahri. Going to have to back all the way up. No pots remaining. Does have the innate sustain. I'm doing a good job avoiding some of that poke coming out from the level 2. People don't really just wants to get level 3 and leave this lane. Wants to affect other places. Good stun up from him. Sunny Waffle will take a little bit. Relatively even though in this game. No clear advantages just yet. Inbred Loser trying to get a bit of an advantage on the top side. Pingu should start roaming here very shortly. Wave is pushing in bottom lane for Demps. We'll feel pretty good about that. We'll equalize it though now. Libon, the sub jungle for Silvermane's, looking for a potential play. Raptors not yet respawning. Window did clear bottom to top. Same direction as his lane opponent. Top lane, a little bit more of the focus for these teams. Next, though, will come back with a tier. Play coming through in mid lane and bottom. Sunny Waffle in a lot of trouble in first blood, going over to Demps on that Ziggs. Genetics, though, in a bit of trouble. Going to be able to get a return kill. Seafill playing the range smartly. Save the Fishes does show up. Create an imbalance in that lane. Not entirely what you want to see. The longer that champion falls behind, the harder it is going to be to play. Polaris looking for a play onto Inbred Loser. Not land the stun. Will take a decent amount of damage from the Gnar passive. That third one going to be procced, and oh my goodness. Inbred Loser will take a turret shot in return. Polaris needs to be a little bit careful here. Went too far flashing forward, but Inbred still has his own flash. Will collect Gnar. Going to feel a little bit bad. This top half of the map not doing so well for the side of Silvermane's. Bottom doing a little bit better. Pingu will be roaming a lot. Seafill and Inbred Loser need to be careful. Demps will need to play this one carefully as well. Seraphine not terribly influential in some of these realms. Chicken Thuggy looking for potential clearing of the vision. People will get a ward on the Drake. Vibon now here on the top side, but Save the Fishes is here as well. Inbred Loser does have level 6, prevents the flag and drag, and Save the Fishes going to make life difficult. Flash away by Vibon. Polaris now in a bit of a difficult position, but Vibon will kill off that Mundo, and now Inbred Loser in a very rough spot of his own will not manage the return kill. Polaris getting a little bit of revenge here. Critically, that Mundo not level 6, not able to get the health regen. Good damage coming out from both Polaris and Vibon. Realistically, that Mundo does not want to look towards the top side. Too much AD damage coming out from that top lane duo. Mid lane going to be a much better position. Demps, though, needs to be careful. Does do a decent amount of just absolute madness. Dancing around those abilities thrown out by Chicken Thuggy. Dealing a decent amount back towards Sunny Waffle. Save the Fishes, though, looking for this Drake. Vibon is in the area. Both junglers level 6. The ultimate coming out from Sunny Waffle will not be enough to finish off Demps, who does also have level 6. Etho, though, in the area. Has his ultimate up and available. Genetics trying to farm this one out a little bit. Vibon looking for the bottom lane play. Will use the Cataclysm. The bomb coming out from the Ziggs as well. But now Seafill, he is in range. Inbred Loser going in on to Polaris. Vibon needs to be careful. Will not manage to kill off Chicken Thuggies. 4 members of both teams in the bottom lane. BBC will come out ahead on this particular play. Unfortunately, Demps just too low to participate in much of that fight. Really needed to be careful about his positioning. Almost died to Seafill using that Ahri ultimate. The Fishes will secure the Baron, or will secure the first Drake. It'll be a Mountain Drake, so his team will be slightly tankier after this play. Not a whole lot of action though. Scrubs will be up and available. Polaris a little bit lower, but Inbred Loser is going to be using, or will have used his own Narbar. Unfortunately, Vibon is not towards the top side, still clearing his bot side camps, and so the Fishes will be a little bit quicker to that play. Inbred Loser will get stunned up by the Chameleon, but taking a lot of damage in return. Pingu is now here though. The jump from Inbred Loser, and now a little bit of return damage. 2 grubs secured by Save the Fishes. Will not go for the third one and will allow Vibon to complete that one. Objective control mostly towards Big Bird Club for this early game. Vibon looking for a potential play here. Inbred Loser needs to run. Knight coming down from Polaris. No flag to drag to. This play will likely fizzle out. Okay, we're cataclysming, and Inbred Loser will just slam him against the wall, taking that kill for himself. A little bit of miscommunication coming out as Polaris clearly did not want that play. Pingu using the Bard ultimate, but now Polaris will use his own. They'll try to get Inbred Loser, but that Gnar is fast. Oh, the flash! Polaris, though, not enough damage to finish off the kill. And with that red buff, Inbred Loser will collect another kill. 3-1 on this Gnar. Genetics needs to be a little bit careful. Seafill does use that ultimate. Ooh, Genetics charmed up, having to flash away. The ultimate will not be enough to save him. Save the Fish is making some good early moves here. Making sure his team gets ahead. 6 kills picked up across the board. 10.5 minutes and a 2K gold lead in the favor of Big Bird Club. Finger putting a little bit of damage down. Has not really been able to affect these lanes nearly as much as he would like. That being said, Demps has done an excellent job of collecting as much farm as he can, staying out of the line of fire. Not yet died in this bottom lane. Red Loser now 2 levels above Polaris. Will be able to do pretty much anything he wants in this top lane. Vibon hovering around the bottom side, but they know there's vision in that pixel brush. I think it will clear it out though. Red Loser continues his level lead. Jungle will be topside for the side of BBC. No dive going to happen though, as the rotation from RX Genetics on that Casio was spotted out. Good vision for the side of BBC to prevent that rotation. Potential dive here now onto Polaris. Seafill and Save the Fishes are going to make this difficult. This turret, not long for this world either. The ultimate comes out, but ultimate from Inbred Loser to respond. This should be top lane turret for Inbred Loser on the next wave. Vibon looking for Chicken Thuggies in the mid lane, but the flash comes slightly before the Casio W, meaning Chicken Thuggy is able to get away. Inbred Loser collecting the top lane turret, showing why BBC are undefeated so far in this tournament. Genetics choosing to go for the first item. Archangel Staff. Save the Fish is looking. Oh, Seafill going for the Encore, also going to go wide. Genetics though very, very low. Seafill will just escape the bomb, but not the smite. But Polaris and Vibon will both be rooted up. Dang Pingu cannot do anything. A double kill for the Mundo. Inbred Loser also down here on the bottom side. Demps needs to run for his life. Unfortunately, there are too many members of BBC chasing him down. He will flash and fall anyway. And I think at that point, you kind of just have to accept your death. You don't really want to be using your flash there. It could be useful elsewhere. Second Drake picked up by Big Bird Club. They will pick up both of the random first Drakes. Will be the Ocean Soul. This will be incredibly good for the entirety of BBC. It will absolutely love this Drake. Lars running for his life. Inbred Loser trying to chase him down. Will manage to do so. That speed from the Gnar is nothing to laugh at. Dang Pingu will get spotted out, trying to clear up vision. Inbred Loser and Seafill will collect that kill, but now Inbred Loser's in a bit of a rough spot. Will collect Polaris, flash away, but not going to be enough. Vibon collecting the shutdown on that one. Seafill looking for a potential play. Vibon flag and drag over the wall. Will get out. play will fizzle out, but Save the Fishes will be able to take a lot of the blue side. Oh, Demps, you are in a bad spot. Almost collecting the kill on Chicken Thuggies. Oh, Sunny Waffle will go down. Oh, no, will not go down. Will go down. Okay, back and forth. We're figuring this out. Think Pingu will collect that kill. Wanted to give it to Demps. And a good Bard ultimate there did prevent him from walking out of turret range, forcing him to take that extra turret shot. Sipo will look for the flag and drag, but will miss. Charm missed from the Ari. No play to be had. Save the Fishes now in a little bit of a sticky spot himself. Will use the Mundo ultimate, but Inbred Loser is very close. Dang Pingu not far behind either. 4v2, but it's a Gnar and a Mundo. I think they can take that one, especially given how fed they are. Now Pink's going down around Vibon's blue buff. They want to invade this one. Genetics sitting over the wall. Will now show himself. Smite comes down from Save the Fishes, securing that objective. Honey Waffle and Demps still battling it out on this bottom side, all by their lonesome. Relatively even in farm. The Rift Herald will be started up and secured by the side of BBC. This game starting to look very good for their side. Historically, Silvermanes has required Polaris to be really fed for them to get out of sticky positions such as this one. Right now, Polaris is looking like one of the weakest members on the team right now. Inbred Loser hard shoving this top lane in. It's a 3-man dive. The Encore comes out but doesn't really hit anyone. Vivon looking for the bottom side. Demps manages to pick up a kill, but Seafill picks up 2 in response. Inbred Loser going to pick up a 4th as Ari grabs a kill onto Demps and Genetics. Not long for this world. A Quadra for the Ari. Inbred stealing the Penta from his mid laner. Bot lane turret soon to fall. 36 seconds on this next Drake. Rift Herald will be summoned up. Melon is going to drive that one. Very short drive. She's going to move on to the next turret. Seatbelt will be able to benefit from some of this gold as well. Several plates collected. Commanding lead for the side of Big Bird Club. 8.5k gold at almost 19 minutes. Sting Pingu looking for a play on Sunny Waffle here. Vibon once again missing the flag and drag, looking a little uncomfortable on this champion. The next will manage to secure the kill though. Will be something back for the side of BBC. Or excuse me, for the side of Silvermanes. But now multiple members of BBC around this Drake. Is an advantage. Demps needs to be careful. Save the Fishes is going to dive him. Good W from Genetics though. Prevents the dive from continuing. The ultimate coming out from Dang Pingu forces the flash out of Chicken Thuggy. A lot of resources expended by both teams. Neither one seems super eager to start up the Drake, but will be a little bit better of ward positioning for the side of Big Bird Club, and they should feel reasonably confident that they can start this one up without too much of an issue. Two items completed here for Genetics. Will have both of his scaling items completed. That row isn't going to complete until right around 30 minutes into the game, and that's going to be very difficult. Bill. A little bit of trouble, but Dang Pingu in some trouble of his own. Will manage to avoid the Senate E. Lars coming over the wall, but nobody stunned there. BP coming out. Oh, the ultimate from Chicken Thuggies only catches Dank Pingu. Now Inbred Loser is here. The full 5-man marching down the mid lane. Inbred Loser finding Demps, but going the wrong way with that ultimate. Response from Seafill. Excuse me, the response from Demps throwing that bomb over the top. Not managed to secure the kill, but Seafill incredibly low, fighting RX Genetics. BBC positioning now around this Baron. Soul point secured for them. Soul in 4.5 minutes. And so remains contest for this objective. Baron being set up. Seafill now in a little bit of trouble. Will get locked down by Polaris. Shutdown going over to the Camille. And this could be how Silver Remains gets back into the game. Find some picks on the sidelines. Work together as a team. Can't just have 1 or 2 people fighting this Gnar at this point in the game. Incredibly scary champion. Does have the Sterax gauge. Will be incredibly tanky. A lot more tanky than he appears. Genetics will almost get this bottom turret. Does have teleport if the Baron is started up. Save the Fishes, a very tanky boy in his own right. Will have the Heartsteel and the Spirit Visage. Now, multiple members looking around the Drake. Demps needs to be careful, does get over the wall. Inbred Loser chasing him down. The Bard ulti will save Demps for a little bit, but how long? Does get the bomb off, and it does incredible damage. Seafill looking for Genetics. Will manage to find him. Sunny Waffle barely surviving. Getting this barrier off, and Dank Pingu needs to run for his life as Seafill looking for a bit of revenge. Ibon bring the flag and drag his way out of there. Polaris was not there, but is collecting the top tier 1. Very close, a 1 for 2 in the favor of Big Bird Club. Looking for a play, a good charm to prevent Polaris from continuing the play onto him. Polaris still very far behind though. Will need quite a bit of gold to be able to catch up. Does have the Triforce now. Some Vibon looking for a play using Dank Pingu and the Cataclysm. Sunny Waffle in incredible danger. Will manage to secure that kill. And Red Loser looking for a play, but Polaris is going to stop him for as long as he can. Unfortunately, it's not that long. Dank Pingu now the next to fall. Seafill will secure that kill. And honestly, the rotations from BBC are just better so far. Genetics is going to try to put as much damage into this window as possible. Oh, he's going to run straight into a angry little Yordle. Flashes coming out from Seafill and Genetics. Demps now in some trouble. Will fall on that Ziggs 3 and 5. Genetics is going to recall his Vibon, trying to potentially save his turret, but Inbred Loser will catch him out. Use the Gnar ultimate, knock him back towards his team, and secure the kill. Bard ulti coming out to not much effect. Polaris will TP in, trying to look for a potential play here. The BBC is just going to retreat towards this Baron. Without Smite, it's going to be incredibly difficult for the side of Silvermane to contest this. Still 20 seconds left on this jungler. Full 5 squad available for BBC. They are going to take this together. 25.5 minutes into the game, they are about to balloon their gold lead. This Baron is not going down super fast, but will allow them to set up for the Drake coming up shortly. Slightly early on the Smite there. Pingu, though, is going to run into Inbred Loser, and RX Genetics going to try to help him out. Grounded, so he's not able to hop away, but it doesn't matter. He's very tanky and very healthy still. Now, Silvermane's trying to look for a potential play here. Inbred Loser taken down to half health. The Cataclysm does come out, but it does not matter. Vibon has no follow-up. There's no one there to help him out, and Seafill will go on a rampage. Polaris forced, or excuse me, Genetics forced the TP out of that one. This will be Dragon Soul secured for the side of BBC. So it remains not looking too good in this one. Gonna need to start thinking about game number 2. Window typing, I suppose? Not really sure what's going on there. Maybe all tabbed or something. $10K gold lead now. 27 minutes into the game. Baron has a minute left. Silvermanes, though, have a decent amount of wave clear and are able to keep these waves away from their turret. Genetics will be scaling up, but still going to take some time. Demps, though, will be falling. The Cataclysm comes out once again. Polaris will take down Sunny Waffle, who has been dying a decent amount. Chicken Thuggy now getting jumped on by Polaris, but will not matter. Save the Fishes creating a lot of space for his team. Pingu trying to help out. The ultimate comes out from Genetics, but Red Loser is going to flash forward, use the R ultimate to once again knock back a member of Silvermane's towards his team. And they are just going to run this one down the mid lane. Inhibitor turret cracked. Inhibitor not long to follow. And too long on these death timers. Pingu, Vibon, and Polaris have it all to do against 4 members of Big Bird Club. Excuse me. Still a wave of Baron remains. Save the Fishes just standing underneath the turret does not give a singular crap. And Polaris going in on Inbred Loser, who is about to get his ultimate. The Senna ultimate comes out over the top. Vibon very, very low as well. Polaris about to fall. Both turrets going to go down. Nexus is exposed as Pingu and Demps do their best. Genetics not yet respawn. Will respawn now, trying to create some space. Inbred Loser stuns him up though, and Seafill looking for a potential kill. Genetics very, very low. Does not have that Archangel Staff available. Seafill gonna get baited in. Chicken Thuggy though will slay RX Genetics, and that will be game number 1. Alright, welcome back for draft of game number 2. Silvermanes have elected the red side for this game. BBC will be taking the blue. We'll see whether there are too many changes in bans. Looks like it's going to remain pretty much the same. Thick and fast once again will be the Xin Zhao and the Shen for Big Bird Club. Silvermanes going to ban out the Darius, the Ambessa, and the Syndra. Wukong to wrap it up for the side of Big Bird Club, and Smolder, the Insta-Lock as priority. And we talked about this in the previous series. Smolder has definitely fallen in priority. No longer pick ban as he was before, with some of those nerfs coming through, has made it more difficult to play that champion, but still a very strong champion. Very good for scaling. I have to see if Silvermanes can take advantage of this scaling team composition that Big Bird Club going to end up playing into Caitlyn. Going to be the response for the side of Silvermanes. Do they pick their jungle here, or do they find something to pair that Caitlyn with? Will they pick a top laner in this first round, or is Polaris going to lose his Urgot again? You Big Bird Club potentially ego this. Leona going to be the pairing with the Caitlyn. Now, Smolder has a few choices. Nami would be the ideal one. Lulu also doing very well. Milio the same. What will Big Bird Club choose, though, into the Leona? Milio could be incredibly good as Renekton. Going to come out for the side of BBC, so top lane locked in for them here. And an aggressive one at that. Inbred Loser doing a very good job into Polaris in the previous series. We'll have to see if that continues on this Renekton. Urgot becomes a lot more difficult to play, but Mordekaiser starts to open up a little bit. Braum going to be the pick for the side of BBC to pair with the Smolder, and this is definitely an interesting pickup. Braum has a lot of options. Urgot, though, will come out for the side of Silvermanes as expected. Big Bird Club, we're already ready for this, and Renekton is a decent counter into that champion. Polaris will have played that matchup quite a bit. Should definitely know how it should go, but get right back into bans here. We are going to shake things up a little bit with the Sejuani. Twisted Fate also going to be banned for RX Genetics. Has been talking a lot about that champion. Continually talks a lot about that champion. In pretty much anyone who will listen. So, is going to be banned away from him for this game number 2. Silvermanes, though, what do they elect to ban next? Will be the Nocturne. Trying to avoid some more of those aggressive junglers that are able to get onto you from pretty much anywhere. Bessa, the same style of jungle play. Vi going to be the ban here for Big Bird Club. That will wrap it up for the bans for game number 2. Silvermanes, what do they choose to prioritize here? What do they want to blind pick? My guess would be the jungle, and will indeed be the Trundle. I don't know if I like this pick personally. No really tanky members besides the Braum, who is going to take quite a while to get tanky. Renekton is healthy, but really more of a bruiser and less of a tank. You really want to see this come out when you have like an Warren or a Scion on the enemy team. But could be also trying to prevent that from happening in the top, or excuse me, in the jungle. The Sejuani was banned out. So, Victor going to be the play here for BBC in the mid lane. Seafill has piloted that champion before to a great amount of success. Excuse me. Zaheen. Oh. Okay, that has to be Zaheen jungle, I believe. Renekton not likely to go into the jungle. Does not really inhabit that particular area of the rift very often. So Zaheen will be the pickup here. And BBC have a decent amount of team fighting here. Actually looks really good, especially with the amount of setup they have from the Braum and the Victor. And quite a bit of aggression for the Smolder, or to carry the Smolder into the late game as well. BBC have really drafted themselves. All right, welcome back, League fans. Game number 2. Silvermanes versus Big Bird Club. And this is looking a little bit spicy. Genetics might be in trouble. Come on, buddy. You got to flash away from that. We'll get the egg popped. Dank Pingu is here. Try and help out. Does get the teleport tech off, though, so we'll be safe. But, man, that is so much used by Genetics. Seafill is not going to let this one stand either. Genetics in a very rough position now in this early game. Not looking good for Silvermanes already.
As expected.
Going to feel a little bit rough in this game number 1. Sunny Waffle and Chicken Thuggy though need to be a little bit careful on this bottom side. Don't let Demps get too far ahead. We have seen what he can do on this Caitlyn. Especially during the daddy off. One of the most important games in TLS history. Huli able to pick up the win against his now son Tyler. We'll have to see though if that's enough to give Silvermanes a win here in this game as Vibon. They can play here towards mid. Save the Fishes will flash forward. But very, very low on this champion. Oh, Seafill going to fall incredibly low. But the minions! First blood going over to Seafill on that Victor. Lars will get a kill for himself in return. Pingu though gonna find Sunny Waffle here, and Dem's gonna create a lot of damage. Chicken Thuggy trying to create some space here. Pure genetics, that's gonna feel so bad. Oh, the flash from Sunny Waffle to drag Ding Pingu underneath the turret. Chicken Thuggy is incredibly low though. Demps will pick up the kill on the Braum. Inbred Loser forced to flash away as a play on top side goes a little bit awry. And now for this mid lane, going to rest on whether genetics can just farm this one out. Save the Fishes is here, so is Vibon. Both junglers sniffing around, seeing what can potentially happen. Vibon should not have been spotted. Will get spotted now though. Save the Fishes coming around. Vibon going to create a little bit of space. Gravity snare comes down for Seafill. Genetics very, very low on this champion. A flash forward from Seafill, but will not quite complete the kill. Needs to be careful. Dang Pingu does not have flash, but Save the Fishes is here to protect this mid laner. Dang Pingu going to have a little bit of trouble. Is Chicken Thuggy showing up as well? All the action in the mid lane right now. Okay, the Fish is going to contest for these chickens. He's saved the fishes, not the chickens. Chicken Thuggy going to help as well. Pingu does get stunned up, but Save the Fish is very, very low. That wall now creating more problems for the side of Silvermanes. But Lars is here. So is Inbred Loser. Oh, Seafill will fall. And that feels a little bit bad, especially given how far ahead Seafill was starting to get in this mid lane matchup. To equalize a little bit. So much pressure in this mid lane from both teams. And so getting a lot of alone time on this wave. Sunny Waffle the same. Demps needs to be careful though. Save the Fishes is down here on this bottom side. And this is part of what I was worried about. Zaheen does not have a super healthy or fast clear. Will be falling a decent amount behind this Trundle. Lars with a very large wave to crash here on top side. Inbred Loser does have a decent amount of AoE though, and we'll be able to clear this one out. Lars going to take a turret shot though. Ooh, takes another one, and now Inbred Loser looking for a potential play. The flash, or the, excuse me, the dash forward. Ignite coming out for Polaris though. They missed that jump. Now Save the Fishes on top side. Polaris has to be extremely careful. Level 6 for Inbred Loser still has that Ignite available on the Renekton. Now the ultimate as well. 6 secured for Polaris as well. Inbred Loser will opt to recall. Libon seeing that jungler topside will go for this first Drake. It will be Cloud for the first one. And now Genetics having access to that level 6 as well, able to use that ultimate, has Catalyst. Give him a lot of mana regen. Kentucky looking for the angle on the Demps. Will land the Q. Polaris and Inbred Loser on somewhat equal footing. The gold picked up for Polaris, so we'll try to get a little bit of extra gold. The boots as well, but the Phage available for that Renekton. Trying to hold this wave on the bottom side, will manage it successfully. He felt looking for a play here onto Genetics, who does not have a lot of mana available. His jungler is right behind him. Default needs to back up. Things going down on the blue buff of DBC. Good job, though, by Silvermanes to hold this wave on their side. Recalls coming out now for BBC's bot lane. Red Loser trying to chase Vibon off of these grubs. Save the Fishes will hear one of them. Genetics looking for a potential play, but the TP coming out from Seafill sort of forces everyone from Silvermanes off of these grubs. Polaris was able to get a plate in the meantime. A little bit less action in this early game, but a slight goal lead for the side of Silvermanes. Seafill, though, now in a bit of trouble, does have to flash over the wall, but it does not matter. Vibon has him trapped. Genetics will secure the kill, and a little bit of revenge for blowing some of those early summoners. Seafill looking for those aggressive plays, but just has not managed to find them. No support from Save the Fishes at the moment either. Not been doing nearly as well on this champion, and now Vibon will invade his bottom side. Good vision control coming out for the side of Silvermanes in the second game. Red Loser looking for a potential play here onto Polaris. Steps a little bit too close. The Dominus going down. The Ignite soon to follow. Polaris does manage to get away, though. Sunny Waffle in a bit of trouble here. Has to flash over. Mom comes out. Vibon taking a lot of damage here and will be in a little bit of trouble. Ooh, the Achu does manage to collect the kill. Was not expecting that much damage to come out from the Smolder this early into the game, but that's going to feel really good for the spot lane. Didn't have to expend the flash, but barrier still up and available. Demp's not able to put enough return damage in. Now on the top side, Save the Fish is trying to make a play onto Polaris, but it is not working out for them either. Dang Pingu, though, here in mid lane will flash forward onto Seafill, who is not going to get away. Now more invasion on the blue side this time for the side of Silvermanes. Multiple members here looking at Save the Fishes, who is in a bit of a precarious spot, will manage to get away. Inbred Loser now in a bit of trouble as the rotations come up towards him. Not enough of a wave, though, to really make this dive work, but no Dominus available. Actually, it is available. So Remains need to think carefully about whether or not they want to dive this one. Flash, though, to avoid the Leona R. And I'm not entirely sure about that one. Ibon tanking up the turret for as long as he can. Does manage to do it. Yeah, I don't know about the flash to avoid the Leona R. I feel like you could have just either dashed or walked up, but sure. Save the Fishes, though, will take this time with his bottom lane to take the Mountain Drake. I value Mountain, especially early Mountain, much more than I value Cloud, so I think Big Bird Club got a little bit better on the objective trade there. Still, 2.5k gold lead, 12.5 minutes for the side of Silvermanes. Objective control early, going more in favor of BBC, but not complete. That being said, Inbred Loser does build the Black Favorite first item. Have a decent amount of damage. Kentucky trying to protect this pink ward, but I'm not sure it's worth all of this. Ibon now down here as well, and a potential dive could come out. Chicken Thuggy needs to flash. The Deng Pingu is on the follow, takes a couple of turret shots. Mom coming out. This could be very bad. Sunny Waffle not quite able to pick up the kill. Demps doing a bunch of damage, but now Seafill is here as well. Does manage to pick up Demps. Genetics, though, going to do a decent amount of damage. That wall means that he is just not going to be able to get away. The pillar coming out from Libon as well means that he is just trapped in that pool forever. Chicken Thuggy will get stunned up. Not nearly as much CC. Red Loser now engaging onto Polaris. Save the Fishes in the area, but does not really have a good angle at the moment. Dominus coming out and the Ignite in response from Polaris. Will use that ultimate to great effect. Polaris is on a killing spree, and this is why you do not give him this champion. Doesn't really matter whether you believe you can win the rest of the game or not. Polaris is going to make things happen on the Urgot. It is his signature champion, but that being said, getting it out in game number 2 is not a bad idea for the side of Big Bird Club. Even if they happen to lose this game for whatever reason, still means that Polaris will not have that champion at other critical moments. Demps in a little bit of trouble here. He does manage to avoid getting stunned up, though. Now Vibon's on the way down. Genetics not too far behind. Chicken Thuggies will fall to Demps. Sunny Waffle will also fall. Inbred Loser uses that teleport, but to no avail. The flash coming out to avoid the Leona ultimate, and this turret might be done for. Lars might also collect the top lane turret first. As 4 members of Silvermanes down here on this bottom side, Demps will be allowed to take all these turret plates by himself, but Polaris will take the first turret for himself. Silvermanes starting to push a little bit of a lead here. Big Bird Club need to be careful. There's still plenty of time left in this series. People going to poke a little bit towards Pingu and Genetics. Genetics, though, getting this Rod of Ages a lot earlier, right around that 10-minute mark, so perfect benchmark. We'll be able to scale that up at 20 minutes. This is, generally speaking, the preferred order for those builds. Also have the Lost Chapter, but no tier in inventory for the Anivia. So likely not going towards that Archangel Staff. Which is a little bit odd, but you know what? We'll go with it. We'll be interested to see what he chooses to go. Could be at Malignance. Very good user of that item. Sunny Waffle at 112 stacks, 16 minutes, a little bit behind schedule. Needs to get some of those up a little bit more. Vibon collecting the Rift Herald in the meantime. Will likely look to use that towards the mid lane. especially as there is a Drake coming up in 45 seconds. Want a little bit more control, a little bit more pressure. Kentucky though, going to try and get some damage or some wards down around this objective. Try to make it a little bit more difficult for Silvermane to just walk in, but the Herald does go down. Libon will drive that into the mid lane turret, and now likely will allow it to walk forward. Create that pressure. 12 seconds remaining on this Drake, a little bit early, but we'll be able to clear out some vision. Seafill going to spot out this bundle and will poke him out. Lots of pings going down towards the mid lane here. All 5 members of Silvermane's down here for this objective. Will be collected uncontested. And Red Loser pinging towards that top side. We'll be pushing that in. Oh, Ding Pingu is in a bit of an awkward position. Save the Fishes will be taking that red buff. We'll at least try to, but Polaris is here as well. Kentucky's will assist her jungler in getting out. Now Silvermane's 6k gold lead at 18 minutes. They are firmly in control of this early game. How do they push this advantage? Because there is a bit of a ticking clock. Honeywaffle is playing that smolder. It will be at 225. Somewhere around 25 to 30 minutes. And that is a big question mark in my mind. Polaris flashing cord. Ooh, will just miss the ultimate. Save the Fish is trying to get out using the ultimate of his own. And Bread Loser trying to save his jungler. Chicken Thuggy not far behind. Oh no! The ultimate from Demps though will connect. Nobody there to help out. Genetics will go on a rampage as Seafill does manage to get one back for his team on Ding Pingu. Spot lane turret will also be collected by the side of Silvermane's. These objectives are slowly starting to fall in the favor of Silvermane's. Further and further they're pushing this game. They need to do so a little bit faster. Honeywaffle is still managing to farm. So we'll have a lot of damage. We'll be able to fight back at a decent range. But it is going to be a little bit difficult once you hit that 30 minutes and Smolder is just able to dish out most insane damage. Save the Fishes now in a little bit of trouble. And Bread Loser using the Dominus. Save the Fishes has to run for his life. Sunny Waffle trying to be a part of the fight. Dink Pico is really low, and so is Vibon. That Dominus is not going to last for too much longer. Shutdown goes to the Smolder. Polaris is on a rampage. Damps, though, getting shut down. Oh no, this is going horribly for the side of Silvermane. Seafill flash fails to flash over the wall, but there is a blast cone to get over. And the scary thing is that Sunny Waffle managed to pick up multiple of those shutdowns. Going to have a lot of gold in his pocket now. Able to catch up to Demps. That fight went terribly wrong for the side of Silvermane's. They're going to feel a little bit worried about that one. Genetics not there to control the area for that team fight. Not able to do enough. Mom creating a lot of chaos in that team fight as well. Chicken Tuggy though in a bit of trouble. Seafill on the way out. Mom is relatively tanky. Live on. Going to take a decent amount of damage in return from Seafill. Drake not up for another minute and a half. Really just posturing, vision clearing, trying to make sure that they have all the intel that they need to be able to take this Drake and go on Soul Point. think Pingu going to be doing a lot of work to clear this vision out. Flyers though, still trying to create pressure on this top side. Baron is up and available for both of these teams, but neither in a good enough position to be able to take it. And this is the 4th Drake. If these series continue to have similar outcomes, this is where the breakout moment comes. Polaris on the opposite side of the matchup this time is 2 levels up on Inbred Loser, is creating all of the pressure on this top side, is making life difficult for this Renekton. Sipo though, doing a respectable amount of damage, does have 2 items completed, the Lich Bane and the Blackfire Torch. Lich Bane a much better item on Victor. Synchronizes well with his Q. Save the Fishes though, likely going to give up this Drake. Headed towards the top side with Sunny Waffle. Will you use the ultimate to get over the wall? But Polaris is relatively tanky. Not tanky enough though, as 3 members do manage to bring him down. But they are giving up Soul Point voluntarily. Vibon will be able to collect that uncontested. It's taking a little bit of time to get this one done. Would have expected it to be finished by now. Will be finished now. The Fish is chasing Dank Pingu out of his own jungle. Now, it's looking like the shoe's on the other foot. Needs to get that blast cone. Does not have his ultimate up and available, but Inbred Loser is here. Now Chicken Thuggy going to use that ultimate. Sunny Waffle does a lot of damage. Mob comes out and will collect the Leona. Em's not doing enough damage in return. 5 on, not too tanky on this Trundle just yet. Some of the weakness of Silvermane's comp is starting to show itself a little bit. Ooh, but Chicken Thuggy in a little bit of trouble. So is Save the Fishes with Polaris, creating a lot of space here. Will use the ultimate, but they... Oh no! Zane will get his passive. Save the Fishes manages to pick up the kill onto Polaris. Game is starting to get messier for the side of Silvermanes. They had the opportunity, had the control of this game, and now it is starting to slip away from them. The gold lead is slowly starting to diminish, even though they managed to get that top lane. They managed to pull multiple members to the top lane and were able to get that Drake. Fortunately, Vibon not super tanky. Neither is Polaris. And Pingu is getting there, but he's not there just yet. Sunny Waffle 4-1-4 on the Smolder. He's at 222. Right at 25 minutes into the game. He's very close to that huge breakpoint. Will get it off of this next wave. And this is where things start to become very difficult for the side of Silvermanes. They are going to have a much more difficult time. They have to lock down this Smolder. They have to one-shot him. If they do not, team fights are going to be very difficult to play out. Ivon looking for a potential flank here. Some good flank wards from Chicken Thuggy to prevent that from happening. Red Loser down here on this bottom side. Save the Fishes now in a little bit of trouble. The ultimate coming out from Dang Pingu. The Fishes will use his own ultimate. And Chicken Thuggies interrupts the dash from the Leona. Seafelt will claim Vibon's life. Chicken Thuggies gets blocked up by the wall and will not be able to go anywhere. Red Loser running for his life from Polaris, but Polaris will manage to land that R. A flash from Inbred Loser to try and get away. And he does have quite a bit of speed. Those dashes are going to make things very annoying for Polaris, who is chasing him down. And now he does the flip. Reverse on Inbred Loser. Oh, it's just enough to get away. Polaris is going to be a little bit annoyed about that one. Not be able to secure that kill. Not be able to get anything back for his team. And now, Big Bird Club, with some of these winning lanes, are going to play around this Baron. Genetics is in the area. It seems like they have some idea that this is going down, but 4 members of Big Bird Club are on this Baron. 4 members of Silvermane's hovering around. They will spot out this Baron now. It's at 4K, 3K, 2K, 1K, and blue team will secure it. Sunny Waffle, though, will get absolutely deleted. Seaville not far behind. Double kill for RX Genetics. And that Baron call was incredibly risky. And Big Bird Club just kind of split up. Didn't really play together. Didn't really walk out together. And both their carries got absolutely blasted. Picked off by members of Silvermane's. Demps now, though, in a lot of trouble. We'll get Dominus use on him by this Renekton. Rotations now from the rest of Silvermane's, but this Drake is coming up. Without their ADC, it's going to be very difficult for them to fight for this. Polaris has it all to do. Genetics keeping back out. There's out half. Needlessly large rod did build a Malignant. An interesting choice. And Leandri's immediately afterward. Chick Tuggy's creating a lot of space here. Will knock up the Anivia, but will be the first to fall. Save the Fishes gets the ultimate. Inbred Loser is on a rampage. Sunny Waffle takes down Polaris. Both passives popped, but will be the side of Big Bird Club with more members and a triple kill for Sunny Waffle. And is starting to tilt back in BBC's favor. And if Silvermanes cannot win with 2 members of their team on very strong champions that we know they're good on, and this series may very well be over.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Final outers collected for the side of Big Bird Club. Only inners remaining. Save the Fishes looking for Demps. Demps still does a lot of damage, but I don't think you can stand and fight there, buddy. There's more members of Big Bird Club on the way. And more chicken fighting. It seems like Ding Pingu, though, not going to let this one go. Polaris here as well. The ultimate coming out from the Leona. Inbred Loser is creating a lot of space for his team, though. Does not take a lot of damage, but will fall to Vibon. Mom coming out, though, as Sunny Waffle does arrive, and too many low members for the side of Big Bird Club. Will complete the team fight with their ADC. This is what we were talking about. Sunny Waffle has to be locked up in order for these team fights to go well for the side of Silvermane, but not being there at the start and the rest of Silvermane's falling low means that this team fight does not go well for them. And now, Big Bird Club. You cannot end the game here. Demps is coming up. Other members of Silvermane's very close behind, but they will take the middle inhibitor. They will crack the base of Silvermane's. If you are Silvermane's, you are likely incredibly frustrated right now. Game number 1 really felt out of your favor from the very first couple of minutes. Game number 2 has not looked solid for the last 3 or so minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. Even though you were in control for the entire early game, you were not able to convert that into a win. And realistically, this is the problem with playing scaling into scaling when the other team has Smolder. Yes, you can scale all you want, but that Smolder is just going to make life so difficult. Hill now waiting for Inbred Loser. Polaris will manage to get out. Inbred Loser not recognizing that Urgot is right there in time. Balls of steel. From this Urgot. Wybon and Ding Pingu now sniffing around this Drake area. Imp's going to be here as well. Chicken Tuggies and Inbred Loser trying to contest the scuttle, but cannot really do so effectively. No smite available for either of them as they are not junglers. Now, a bit of a fight breaking out here. Polaris is waiting on the wings. Saberfish is here as well. He felt going to take a little bit of damage here from RX Genetics, but will use his own ultimate, forcing the ult and the flash out of Genetics. Polaris, though, going to land that ultimate. Now, 3 members of Silvermane's up here on this top side. Tifo trying to make the trade, but unfortunately, the passive coming up just a little too quickly. Save the Fishes now in a bit of trouble. Oh my goodness, Save the Fishes, never mind, does so much healing on that champion. Double kill going over to him. Will finally get the passive pop. Looks like he is incredibly low. Polaris needs to finish her off. Cannot quite do so. Sunny Waffle, the next target, but too many healthy members show up. Silvermane's just not able to finish those kills quickly enough, and the rest of Big Bird Club show up and finish the fight. 4 members strong. Tifo, the only member fallen. And this time, those death timers far too long. Top lane turret will go down. The inhibitor turret, the inhibitor soon to follow, maybe. Looks like they just want to focus on the Nexus turrets, and I agree. That's a good idea. End this game out. Game number 2 completed in the favor of Big Bird Club. They are on their way to a 3-0 sweep. All right, welcome back, everyone. Game number 3, Silvermanes versus BBC. BBC have elected the red side this game. Silvermanes will be on the blue side, and bans are once again coming thick and fast. Zinzao and Shen once again banned for BBC, and Bessa, Darius, and Syndra going to be the bans for the side of Silvermanes. Going to be very interesting to see the Wukong come out. Silvermanes, what do you prioritize here? Okay, this is interesting. Will be the Skarner first pick for the side of Silvermanes, and I'm not going to say the series has been draft diff, because I feel like Silvermanes have been doing a somewhat decent job, but this draft is not starting out well already. BBC will pick up the Kaisa for their side, see what they want to answer back for jungle. Skarner can be a decent pick, but is not strong enough, nowhere near strong enough to be a priority pick for the side of Silvermanes. I'll have to see how this does work out for them, though. Kaisa and Silas going to be the picks here. Silas could potentially be in the mid lane, could potentially be in jungle. Good flex here. Skarner is a decent enough, or I would say that early pick is, I won't say Silas early is justified. I feel like this is a champion you want to pick either 4th or 5th, but Skarner is relatively strong. And a decent pickup for the Silas. And of course, pretty much anything else Silvermanes has to pick is going to be limited here. Nautilus going to be their support pickup. Will they pick up ADC and answer to the Kaisa? Caitlyn already out, the champion that outranges. Ooh, a Jhin pickup for the side of Silvermanes here. BBC one final pickup in this third game. Pardon me. And BBC have quite a few options here. You can start picking some more tanky members, especially in the jungle and top lane. Make that Jhin have a much more difficult time. Support also a possibility, but it will be the Rakan. And personally, I would like to see something a little bit more tanky in that support role. make the Jin suffer a little bit, but it will be the Rakan picked up and does do well with the Kaisa. Has a decent amount of setup. The Nautilus was a good grab by the side of Silvermane's. Definitely one of the champions that Kaisa loves to play with. Leona and Braum already off the table. There are other support picks that does well with, but those are kind of the big ones that she's known to pair with. So, BBC returning to the ban phase. Will ban away the Twisted Fate once again. Trying to make sure that RX Genetics is not able to get around the map quickly. Silvermanes will do something similar. They will ban out the Nocturne. And it's a little bit awkward when you ban the Nocturne before, or excuse me, when you ban the TF before the Nocturne, as Nocturne basically counters TF. Not really able to use that ultimate effectively once that Nocturne R does come through. Mordekaiser, the final ban for BBC. Will it be the final ban of this series? For Silvermane's coming out right now. They are on the line. They need to win the next 2 games at least. Keep their playoffs hopes alive. Annie, going to be the final ban here in this game number 3. BBC will return to the pick phase with their priority. And it will be the Cho'Gath. So I'm not entirely sure why Silvermane's banned Annie when they see the Sylas, as it's not likely to go jungle. Could go jungle, I suppose. Even still, with the Cho'Gath pick, that is likely going top lane. There is a decent amount of flex. Cho'Gath a 3-way flex, Sylas a 2-way flex. I'm not entirely clear where BBC wants to send all of these champions. Silvermanes will need to take their best guess based on the scouting that they have done. We still have 2 more picks here. Will be their mid lane and top. What do they pick for Polaris? Will be the Kale. Kale is interesting here. Does require a decent amount of time to scale up, but does put BBC on a ticking clock. That being said, the Sylas can pick up that Kale ulti. Will be reasonably strong. Kale also does okay into Cho'Gath, so can get a little bit accelerated. We'll have to see what they pair with that. Will be the Rumble. Okay. So Rumble mid, Kale top, Skarner jungle, Jhin, and Nautilus in the bot lane. A decent team fighting team. Okay, we are throwing down the gauntlet here. All right, game number 3. Big Bird Club looking to close this one out in a solid fashion. Things coming down towards this blue buff. Ivon will be spotted out by a ward. Will place his own as well. Save the Fishes will be on that Sylas in the jungle. Riven is going to go mid for Seafill. Genetics needs to play this one relatively carefully, as this is a known matchup. Lanes may be different, but speaking, this is more Riven favored. Seafill putting the hurt on Genetics in this early lane matchup. Riven definitely a fun champion to play against. Does require a decent amount of skill to pilot that champion, so we'll have to see how Seafill works this one out. Right now, making Genetics' life very miserable in this mid lane. Lars doing his best to make it miserable in top lane as well. Sems and Pingu will reach that level 2 first and will push in this wave. Seafill and Genetics both level 3 now. Riven access to her full kit. Genetics going to be pushing in this mid lane a little bit, and that's not quite where you want to be. You are up against a Riven. Lars going to struggle a little bit on this top side. Red Loser doing a lot of damage. Polaris in a bit of a sticky situation is going to have to play. Oh, wait, never mind. Forced to turn it back around, forcing the flash out of Inbred Loser. Did not take the Hail of Blades, did opt for the grasp, and now Vibon up here in the top side as well will push him back the other way. No flash available for the Shogath, no mana either. First blood to the Skarner. It's going to feel pretty good. Save the fishes though. Now looking in the mid lane. Seafill flashing forward. Won't be able to complete this kill though. Genetics overheating, but is going to do a decent amount of damage in return. Both junglers trading Scuttle Crabs. Farner will be a little bit late. Chicken Thuggy though, looking for a potential play onto Genetics. Ward going over the wall. Chicken Thuggy is going to be taken relatively low. The Ignite coming out from both. Seafill will take that kill in the 2v1. Now Vibon looking for a potential play back. Does get Seafill underneath the turret, but he is level 5. Not taking that turret aggro on Vibon. Has to flash away on the Skarner. Did interrupt the recall from Chicken Thuggies though. A little bit of deep vision coming out from Dank Pingu. Looking to hit that level 6, trying to get to that first level where he does no longer have to be in melee range and do a lot more to this Cho'Gath. Kentucky though, forcing the flash out of Demps. And now Seafill here with Save the Fishes, but Dank Pingu is here to help out his mid laner. Roasting coming out on Save the Fishes will fall. Seafill also going to fall as Pingu collecting one of those kills, one going over to Genetics. Demps now has to be very careful in the spot lane matchup. Should be able to clear out most of this without too much problem. And Pingu returning towards the bottom lane. Chicken Thuggy needs to be a little bit careful here. Will avoid the deadly flourish. Fire's now level 6 on this Kale. Getting that first breakpoint. Oh, the lollipop onto Chicken Thuggy. Deadly Flourish comes out, but not going to be quite enough. I'm collecting some of these fruits. Oh no, Chicken Thuggy not quite able to get the return onto Sunny Waffle. And a little bit of early life for the Silvermane squad. A little bit of play back and forth. Vibon now looking for a play on the top side. Does have that level 6. So does Polaris. Oh, the ult will come out and will take out Inbred Loser. Not quite enough. The Kale ulti not required. Chicken Thuggy's now in a very precarious position. But no force shot available. If it was, it is likely a dead Rakan. Oh, but the ultimate coming out. Level 6 secured for Sunny Waffle, but will not be enough. Barrier not enough either. Curtain call will signal the end of the Kaisa. But Demps collecting a little bit of a lead for himself early. Genetics in this mid lane trying to do the best he can is keeping up in CS. Will be a little bit behind in gold thanks to the extra kill. But luckily, not a whole lot. Vibon, Chicken Thuggy meeting each other. Chicken Waffle here as well. Skarner not able to hit. It's currently a 3v2 as Dang Pingu is walking up. First Drake will be started off by the side of BBC. Vibon on this top side. Opts to give this one away. A little bit of vision clearing from the side of Silvermanes, but they will not contest this Drake. They will go straight for the Grubs. Save the Fishes, though, looks for a play on Dang Pingu. Does manage to catch him up. Does have that ultimate available. Will go on to Demps. The ult coming out from Sunny Waffle. They're diving underneath the turret, but this is not a smart idea. The turret is going to get ramped up, and Polaris will take out Inbred Loser. Curtain call is available, and indeed it is. Sunny Waffle and Chicken Thuggy trying to get out. The flash from Sunny Waffle. Dang Pingu is here to secure this kill. Bot lane not going super well for the side of Big Bird Club early. Despite getting that Drake, they will not be able to make that play happen. Seafill, though, looking for a play of his own. Vibon is here, though, taking so much damage from that ulti. I think Pingu may get the solo on to Save the Fishes here. Oh, the flash from Save the Fishes. Chicken Thuggy now here. I think Pingu has gone a little bit too far. Shut down. Going over to the Silas. A little bit of a trade back for the side of Big Bird Club, but a 3k gold lead now for the side of Silvermanes. This game absolutely critical for Silvermanes. They have to win it in order to stay in playoffs. Waffle taking so much damage. The Hubris built first for Demps. See if it lives up to its name or if he is able to defy. Ooh, a little bit of Hubris coming out there. Sunny Waffle, though, takes so much damage here. Demps with that first item is going to be doing quite a bit even without the stacks. Chicken Thuggy has to simply watch. Oh, just missing the lollipop there. Ultimate coming out for Chicken Thuggy. Save the Fishes and Seafill healer as well. And Demps maybe in a bit of trouble. Pingu definitely in trouble. He'll try to get himself out of there. Seafill looking for the potential play. Oh, what a good blast cone. Ultimate coming out from Dang Pingu. Will not be enough for the kill. But Vibon is here now as well. Oh, missing the ultimate onto Seafill. Underneath the turret, not going to look too good. The curtain call coming out from Save the Fishes, but now Genetics is here as well. This play is taking way too long. And Silvermanes managed to turn it back on to the side of BBC. Now looking for the potential play. Ultimate is going to stop Chicken Thuggies from recalling. Tries to get a grand entrance, but not able to do enough. Demps going to be putting in work on this gen, as it all to do is the main source of AD damage for his team. Polaris and Genetics both going to be doing AP damage as Polaris flashes forward, uses the kill ulti. Maybe a little bit too early. Okay, he does manage to get the kill. Level 11 now on the scale. Looking for a potential play here. Not be able to find it though. So on this bottom side. Here's the Fishes now looking for a play on the Polaris. If we can get in range to get the ultimate. Nope, never mind. Takes about half his health in hurt damage as a penalty. Polaris manages to get out even without flash. Seafil now in a bit of a sticky situation, but not a whole lot of damage here for either side. Ultimate coming out from both Seafil and, or excuse me, from Vibon and Dang Pingu, but now Chicken Thuggies is here to make things a little bit more difficult. Arx Genetics here as well. Seafil stunned up. Deadly Flourish does catch Seafil. He will fall. Chicken Thuggies not enough, and good rotations from Silvermanes, keeping themselves alive in this game. Things now coming down from Save the Fishes on this Silas. Looking for a potential dive here. The ultimate not available, and neither is Flash. They managed to catch him outside the turret. Shut down, going over to the Cho'Gath with that ultimate. "21 stacks on this Hubris. Second Drake now up and available." Both of these teams Save the Fishes. Finding Dang Pingu. Pingu trying to hold him. Saibon looking for potential play, but not going to quite have it. Save the Fishes and Chicken Thuggy now looking for potential play. The ultimate coming out from Genetics. Current Call comes in as well, but not going to signal the end of anyone in particular. Sunny Waffle gets Save the Fishes gets ulted up by Vibon, but Seafil is here now as well, and this is going horribly for the side of Silvermanes. Seafil does fall, but Sunny Waffle is still alive. Polaris trying to do all the damage. This is very back and forth. This Inbred Loser, the only remaining member of his team, not be able to get the kill onto Dang Pingu as Ace claimed by Polaris. That fight looked very back and forth for both teams for quite a while. Multiple members falling, but a full ace in favor of Silvermanes. Polaris putting out the damage towards the end was able to be the deciding factor. But now Save the Fishes with the better respawn timer. Won't make it out, put some vision down, but they are still 4K behind. 15 minutes. Going to have to play smartly if they want to contest for this Drake. Silvermane is just not here fast enough. It will be going over to the side of Big Bird Club, and they will take both early Drakes. Not full objective control. They will not take the grubs. See if the same holds true for the Rift Herald. Vibon Genetics now playing towards this bottom side. Seafil will get spotted out. This could be a dead Riven once again. Trying to run for his life. Save the Fishes is on the way down. We'll see how this 2v2 works out. MatrixSenpai is going to overheat very shortly, but will manage to pick up the kill on the Seafil. Now Save the Fishes is in trouble. Dang Pingu has made his way down. The ultimate coming out from the Nautilus will secure the kill. And Pingu going to take that one for himself. 4-2-9 on this Nautilus now. Not having this Nautilus available for the Kai'Sa is starting to pay dividends for Silvermanes. May not pair especially well with the Jhin. Definitely better than giving it over to that Kai'Sa. The odd thing to me is that instead of picking the Nautilus, Big Bird Club went for the Silas, which is, as I mentioned, a really early pick. B2 is very early for Silas to come out. And also, you have the Nautilus available. Okay, Inbred Loser just taking down Polaris underneath his own turret. Could not be bothered. Singular moment. Now looking to take down someone else. Dang Pingu looking like a tasty meal. Vibon is in the area. Ooh, good stun against Chicken Thuggies. Will not be able to get over the wall. Now Vibon is here as well. Going to use his ultimate. Hold both of them in place. Certain call does not signal the end of anyone just yet, but Arch Genetics using that ultimate to great effect. Big Bird Club, you cannot be fighting in these corridors. It just works too well for the side of Silvermanes. Does not work out for BBC. 4.5k gold lead now for the side of Silvermanes, but we did see a good play, a good return from the side of BBC last game. So, Silvermanes, you are once again in control of the early game. How do you use this to finish it off? There is no scaling similar to the Smolder available for the side of BBC this time. So you are not nearly as much on a clock, and Polaris is the one putting BBC on a clock right now. But if you take some of these team fights poorly, like the one you took in mid lane, would spell disaster a little bit later into the game, especially once that Cho'Gath has a little bit more health and Jin is not able to do nearly as much work into that champion. Need to see Silvermanes keep complete control of this game, and they will start that off by taking the Rift Herald. Both top lane objectives secured for their team. Vibon now here to take control of Inbred Loser, who does have that Heartsteel. He's going to do a decent amount of damage to both Polaris and Vibon. Polaris needing to flash away. Needs to be very careful of that Cho'Gath R. Dang Pingu getting Sunny Waffle locked up, and Demps will finish that kill. Rift Herald going to go down on the top side. Will secure that top lane turret. Genetics protecting this bottom lane. Save the Vicious is going to look for a potential dive, but Genetics is in a decent position right now. I don't think you really want this dive, especially as there is no wave. The Vicious will drag the wave. We'll make sure that it comes a little bit closer. Leaf is incredibly low, and now Vibon is here as well. Oh, Chicken Thuggies has found Demps, though. Let's say the Fishes have enough damage. Dang Pingu is here, and RX Genetics using his own ultimate to protect his ADC. Demps and Genetics on a killing spree. Curtain Call going to be used on Seafill and will cause his doom, not directly, but indirectly. This Vibon is able to stun him up against the wall. Find the kill. 6 seconds remaining on this Drake. It will be Infernal Soul for this game. Infernal, very good for the Silvermanes team. They are showing us they have some signs of life. Ooh, a good stun up by Dang Pingu onto Sunny Waffle, but no follow-up from Polaris as he was tanking turret aggro first. Will be a bit of a reset here for the side of Silvermanes. I think Pingu will get his reset stopped. 8k now. 21 minutes for the side of Silvermanes. Fully in control of this early game. All outer turrets gone now. Big Purple Worm is going to be the next big objective. Can they manage that one? Seafill has been trying to make things happen on this Ribbon. Did have some good early pressure, but has not really managed to do much since then. Vibon has made life difficult for him in that mid lane. And even more so on the side lanes. Pingu preparing this vision around the Baron. Going to try and set things up here. Sunny Waffle, we're going to be going for a bit of an older build here. We'll go the Static Shiv. Second item. Looking for that Nashor's Steel third. Static Shiv. Decent enough wave clear tool. Inbred Loser will dodge the potential gank from Vibon. Kentucky's trying to clear out some of the solution around the Baron, but Dang Pingu is not going to allow this to happen without a fight. Demps, MatrixGenetics, and Vibon here in area. Pingu now looking for a potential play on Sunny Waffle, but Save the Fishes and Chicken Thuggy are here as well. Chicken Thuggy, though, is in the most danger. Vibon will look for the play. The ultimate comes out from the recon, but just not enough. Now ultimate coming out. Curtain Call will not really land on anyone, but it just does not matter. Sunny Waffle too far behind. This mid lane tier 2 will likely go down very shortly. Vibon looking for the play. Want to save the Fishes. Seafill hanging around in the wings. Now some damage onto this mid lane inhibitor turret. Red Loser is trying to push in the bottom lane. Save the Fishes tries to go into Demps here. May potentially get the kill, but the barrier comes out. Shut down going over to Seafill. That's not who you wanted on. If you are Silvermane's, Chicken Thuggies respawning just in time. Too much damage coming out from the Rumble. A double kill going over to this champion. Seafill will have some extra gold to spend now. Will have the Bloodletter's Curse. Will be able to do a bit more damage. Likely going for maybe actually, you know what? There's too many there's too many items that build out of those components. A little bit hard to say what he's going for just next. Chicken Thuggy though will stop RX Genetics, run back in completely. Sunny Waffle is here as well. Vibon hovering just above. Chicken Thuggy will now look to clear out the vision around the Baron. Resets come out from the side of Silvermane's. Multiple members. Whoa. Okay. We apologize. We once again had an issue with the lead client. Give us just one moment. We will have that right back up. Do apologize. Must be an issue with the client. We are getting right back into a fight though. The ultimate coming out from both Vibon and the Jin. Chicken Thuggy doing her absolute best, but just not enough. Dang Finger will be the recipient of the ultimate from Polaris. Double kill for Genetics. Baron now going to be started up. Save the Fishes will get spotted out by Dang Pingu. Don't look for the potential steal, but Dang Pingu says, I think not. We'll put a lot of damage into this Silas. Blast Cone going to be used. Vibon looking for the potential play, but will not find it. The Purple Worm going over to the side of Silvermane. Sunny Waffle trying to get something back in the mid lane, but not going to be able to. Now running for his life. Demps is looking for the kill. Seafill will manage to get the top lane turret. Will give up his life for that. Drake now spawning for the side of Silvermane's. I do apologize. The overlay is a little bit messed up, but Silvermanes have not picked up any Drake, so this will be their first one. One Drake given over to the side of Silvermanes, but they still have several more to go. Vibon looking for potential play here. Chicken Thuggies will spot him out with a pink ward though. He has to run a little bit. That entrance not up and available anymore. Big Fishes is looking here though. Genetics though in the area along with Demps. There's too much damage for BBC to make a play right now, and they know it. You need to be careful. You need to play back a little bit. All 5 members of BBC now on this bottom side, looking for the potential play. Vibon going in onto Chicken Thuggies. Will get the ultimate off, but only onto that champion. The ultimate coming out from Chicken Thuggies as well. Will rush back, and now shutdown coming out for Seafell. This is looking a lot better for the side of BBC. Vibon now has to run. Chicken Thuggies incredibly low, but not taken down just yet. Polaris is here, but he's here too late. Vibon going to fall to Inbred Loser. Shutdown's going over, and somehow, some way, BBC have managed to pull off a team fight despite being down an insane amount of gold. We'll take out most of those Barons as well. Very good plays from BBC, showing they are not giving up on this game just yet. They do have some signs of life still left in them, but they want to win this series here and now. 3 minutes remaining on this Baron, 2.5 remaining on the next break. And it's going to be a fight for vision. Who can set theirs up first? Who can defend it? Who can maintain it? Inbred Loser, 393 stacks on this Heartsteel is going to be massive on this Cho'Gath. 9 stacks though, only. Needs to eat some more minions to fatten up a little bit. Multiple members though of Silvermane's here on this top side. Testing some of these red side items. Red buff will go over to Vibon. Genetics cannot prevent this Cho'Gath from taking the bottom lane turret, so a lot of pressure being created on the opposite side of the map here. Without Genetics here on this fight. Ooh, Inbred Loser has such a good flank if he is not spotted out, but his team is not moving in. They need to move together. They need to look for this flank. Vibon is going to get spotted out. Or Dank Pingu, or excuse me, Vibon and Dank Pingu are going to spot out Inbred Loser. And now the rest of BBC have to run. Try and catch up to this fight. More members of Silvermane's here. Save the Fishes looking for a potential play. But Dank Pingu finds it first. Save the Fishes needs to flash out. Dem's looking for the potential kill angle. And now it is not looking good for BBC. It's a slap with the wallet. Inbred Loser had such a good flank, but his team trolled him. Sunny Waffle and Save the Fishes running for their lives. Genetics will fall. Lars is going to kill off Save the Fishes. Instead, Sunny Waffle barely avoiding that curtain call. Now a massive wave to push in here in the mid lane, and only Save the Fish, or excuse me, only Sunny Waffle left. Vibon will jump on top of him. Will do a lot of damage to Polaris. Uses the ultimate and an ace. Silvermanes will pick up their first win in this series, keeping their hopes and dreams alive. BBC will take the blue side. Silvermanes will take the red. Xin Zhao going to be the first ban. Shen and Wukong going to follow. Silvermanes going to ban out the Mbessa, the Syndra, and the Zillion this time. Melon has definitely played Zillion before, so this is a very good ban from them, and I'm definitely interested to see where this ends up going. Nocturne, though, going to be the first pick for BBC, and this has been banned out a lot by the side of Silvermane, so good pickup for them. Identifying some of their champions are up and available. Trying to get their hands on them early, especially this late into the draft pool when 30 champions are already banned. 36 if you count the bans. Silvermanes, though, Dank Pingu going to be on that rel. Let's see what ADC they do elect to pair with that. There are some decent options still up and available. Of course, some of the better ones have been taken. That Caitlyn and that Kaisa really enjoying it. But Sejuani will be picked out here for the side of Silvermanes. Sejuani, Rel, very tanky together. And I would like to see at least one more melee champion, either in mid or top, come out. Polaris definitely good at picking some of those melee champions. Shen, excuse me, not available. Would be one of the bigger ones with the Sejuani. Swain, though, picked for the side of BBC, and this is a flex between mid, support, and ADC. I guess APC, really. See what role that does end up playing. The Darius, though, going to be the pickup here for top lane. The BBC picking their top lane a little bit earlier in the draft here. Once again, trying to get their hands on champions that Silver Maidens have banned away from them before they have the opportunity. A lot of that focus has gone towards the top and jungle side, leaving their bot lane for later. Switching up their draft strategy this late in the game does make sense. Jax, though. Okay. All right. There's another melee champion, and a very strong one at that. Jax going to be the pickup here for Polaris in the top lane. Will be an interesting core here. Both of these teams really switching up their draft strategy. We'll pick their core top half first. Oh, Vel'Koz going to be banned out first for the side of Silver Maidens as we return to the bans here. BBC will ban out the TF still. So another champion that Silver Maidens has been trying to get their hands on. It's not really worked out for them so far. BBC did not ban that in draft number 1. Orianna, though, going to be the response. So a lot more focus on the mid lane bans here in the series. BBC, their final ban of the game. What will it be? What do they want to see out of here? A lot of focus in this mid lane. Ooh, LeBlanc, a good choice. Genetics has played that before to great effect. Will be the brand, though. Locked in, so leaving ADC for last. Well, okay. Dems has played mage bot lanes before. And we have made fun of him for it. So if this is a brand bottom, Dems, please don't throw this. Your team really needs you right now. You've been doing reasonably well so far. The Caitlyn and the Jhin performances were both stellar. Despite losing the Caitlyn game, you did perform very well. I really, really, really want to see a good play come out here for this game. The Ziggs did not look nearly... Well, the Ziggs looked okay. It just really didn't get anywhere because of the Mundo. But now Mundo is not available anymore. Janna going to be the pick here. And Rise in the mid lane. So it will be... Swain, Janna bot lane. It's an interesting combination. Not one that we've necessarily seen before, but one that could work. I definitely think that that is not a bad pickup. Just... I don't know. Janna and Darrell is kind of weird. But we'll be the Galio pickup mid, and now I'm a little worried for the side of Silver Maidens. There's not a whole lot of damage coming out from them. All right, welcome back, everyone. Game number 4. Will BBC be able to close this one out? We need to see a little bit more confidence from them. We are starting to see some mage bot lanes. Good early vision coming out from the side of Silver Maidens. Will be able to get information on that Nocturne. Putting on their bread. Will be shortly moving over towards those chickens. Laris, an inbred loser, will have a lot of work to do on this top side. Whoever gets the advantage will become insanely hard to beat. You know how strong both of these champions can be. Good lockup, though, here from Sunny Waffle. Both of these mage bot lanes have a decent amount of poke and a decent amount of range. Which one can use it more effectively is Polaris. Taking a decent amount of damage, but we'll trade some back. Longer trades are not what you want against a Darius, though. Sunny Waffle, though, forced to flash away from the level 2. Oops. And Ding Pingu able to get that early advantage. Phil is also going to have a bit of a rough time here in mid lane. RX Genetics locking him up, but level 3 versus the level 2. Maybe a little bit more of an advantage. Sunny Waffle, though, getting a decent amount of stacks here early. The poke coming out from Demps is going to be very difficult to play into. We'll have to see how it works out for them on this bottom side. Tito did opt for the Doran Spring early. Tier early is a little bit difficult. Oh, Chicken Thuggy is stepping a little bit too close. Might have to. Does flash. Hopefully able to get away. The fishes fighting on the top side. Spotting out. 5 on. King Pigu doing a good job of zoning this Swain off the wave. Polaris and Inbred Loser both at about half health here. Going back and forth on this top side. Oh, the pull though. Polaris though doing a lot of damage here. Will flash forward and use the ignite, and that is Inbred Loser falling. First blood goes over to Polaris in this matchup. Ooh, that is not good at all. Axe having the early advantage. Level 6 is going to be absolutely critical for both of these champions. Right now, Polaris has the advantage. That ignite doing so much work for him. Both Genetics and Seafill will be very low on mana at this point. Genetics going to be the first to back, looking to use that teleport. Meanwhile, both junglers rotating around their camps. Will be right around the same timing. But Gromp coming up slightly faster than Krugs. Does mean Vibon has to spend a little bit of extra time waiting. Will manage to get there right on time. Polaris with a slight level lead over the Darius. Ooh, Deng Pingu looking for a potential play here. The stun's coming out, and oh my goodness, so much damage. So much healing available for the Swain as well. Does get a stack. Not unlike Kayn, similar playstyle. Doesn't mind taking a little bit of damage to get those stacks. Them's slightly behind in... Ooh, okay. Seafill needs to be careful here. His Vibon is here to lock him up. Save the Fish is not too far behind. Seafill is level 6, but the level 6 of the Rise just does not matter nearly as much. That being said, neither does Genetics. Needs to be a little bit careful here. Deng Pigu, though, is here for the play as well. Save the Fish is just going to be locked up all the way, not able to get out. Yeah, 3-man play gives the advantage to Silvermanes. Mars fighting once again, and Seafill goes down in the mid lane. Mars needs to be a little bit careful. Does have the lethal tempo proc now, though, and Inbred Loser not able to get the R off, and even if he was, not do enough damage. Early game going not too well for BBC. This is the third game in a row where their early game has been a little bit weaker, and this time, as with last, no scaling to rely on, no backup plan, no ticking time bomb. Of course, Swain and Rise do have a decent amount of damage in the late game, do have some scaling. Nothing like a Smolder, no execute available, no 225 stack limit to hit. However, Silvermanes, as mentioned previously, do not have a ton of damage. A lot more available for the side of BBC, and this could be potentially their downfall. Demps will be able to dish out a decent amount of damage, and there's no Mundo on the board. So it's really going to depend on just how far ahead Silvermanes can get in this early game. Polaris can really take control of this top lane. Demps can really take control of the bottom lane. Silvermanes may have a chance at Silver Scrapes. Ultimate now coming out for Save the Fishes, trying to protect his top laner. Inbred Loser, though, going to fall, and Polaris with that Grandmaster's Challenge. Oh, the Swain, though, trying to get the kill onto Demps, but will get stunned. It's a 1-for-1 trade in the top side. No other members fall. Save the Fishes almost falling, if not for the ultimate of Seafell. Might have been able to complete the kill, but very, very close nonetheless. 3-1. Very close to first item is Polaris. Save the Fishes now needs to be very careful, and Inbred Loser is maybe a little bit tilted, just autopiloting a little bit. His wave is pushed in, and he's not helping his jungler out at all. BBC, his the mental is starting to fall apart a little bit. The ultimate now coming out. Seafill is in a very rough position. Chicken Thuggy has cannot do a whole lot. No level 6 available for that Janna. Was trying to rotate up. Now has the level 6. Was trying to rotate up. Demps is now here as well on the backside. Ooh, Arcs Genetics running out of mana though. Save the Fishes is looking at the mid lane, but Dank Pingu is coming over as well. Don't think this is a fight that BBC want to take right now. Will be the Grubs picked up uncontested and full early control of these objectives over to the side of Silvermanes. They're once again pushing this lead. They have found a weak spot of BBC and they are exploiting it. Waffle flashing forward does manage to land the claw. The Magnet Storm coming out from Dang Pingu. 3 members here. Ooh, a good flash coming out from Chicken Thuggy. Does fall. Sunny Waffle in that ultimate will fall. Double kill going over to Dank Pingu. Save the Fishes now in trouble. Seafell walking over to try and help. The Nocturnal does come out onto Dank Pingu, but the charge, a triple kill going over to Dank Pingu. Can he get the Quadra? Seafell is going to try to make sure that he does not. But honestly, I really think he could. Nope, he does not. Arcs Genetics will take that kill, but oh my goodness. That is a triple kill over to your support rel. 4-0-2 on this champion. I mean, sure, why not? Silvermane's making things look a little bit rough. Chicken Thuggies needs to be careful here. Not go too far forward. Demps has returned to lane. Silvermane's looking very good in this game number 4. Trying to push it to Silver Scrapes. Trying to keep their hopes alive. And Chicken, or excuse me, the Big Bird Club. A position they may not be super used to. They've gone undefeated so far in this tournament. Now, Silvermane's putting them ever closer. Mybon found by Sunny Waffle. Will get stunned up. And Pingu here to protect. Genetics does not have that ultimate available on the Galio though. Dems getting some alone time on this bottom turret. Will collect 2 turret plates for himself. Ibon and Dank Pingu hovering around this Drake now. 3 members moving towards it. Polaris though doing so much damage to this top turret. Drake will be started up and spotted out behind the side of BBC. Polaris somehow managing to take first turret already. This is what we were talking about. This top lane, whoever wins this first couple of engagements is just going to be pretty much unstoppable. And Polaris starting to solve some of the damage problems that BBC could have potentially exploited. For Sirius will be reasonably strong. Will be able to do a lot of damage to Seafill, putting out his own damage, but this Nocturne is going to have a very difficult time getting into some of these fights now, given just how strong some of these other champions are. Steadfast, or excuse me, All Radiance already completed for RX Genetics. Lars already having that Triforce. Sito up here on this top side is now a 3-man, but Dark Pingu not too far behind. Okay, it's a 4-man. Chicken Thuggy taking that kill. I don't know. It's just support stealing kills now. Support. It's a support game. Support diff. Red loser. I guess all tapped. I don't know, but he's gonna pay for it with his life. 3-man. Okay. Apologies again. Apparently the league client is having some issues. What's new? We'll get right back into game. We'll see if they were able to get that kill. Okay, still fighting on the top side. We haven't missed a whole lot. Running Waffle will pick up Demps on the bottom side. Infrared Loser will fall on that top side. Kentucky needing to get away from Vibon here. We'll do so with the Tornado. Rift Herald though, started up here by Silvermanes. There were more members in the area, and this would give them full early game control. There's the fishes in the mid lane trying to create a little bit of pressure. Funny Waffle now rotating over as well. Save the fishes onto Dank Pingu. Chicken Thuggies just behind. Demps is here as well. Genetics finding Chicken Thuggies. The ultimate from Janna coming out just momentarily. Well, make sure that they do not get jumped on. Third Drake up and available will not be started. Excuse me, is not up and available just yet. Timer is a little bit broken. Kentucky though, getting jumped on by Dank Pingu, and the Magnet Storm will now come out. Needs to be very careful here. Sunny Waffle will go into that ultimate. The ultimate from Vibon missing as well, but the stun will not. The Tornado coming out to try and save the ADC, but will not matter. Seafill getting jumped on by Genetics here. Seafill running for his life will successfully get away. Now Polaris needs to be a little bit careful. Does fall in the end. Rift Herald though summoned up on the bottom side. Nocturne looking for potential play. Will find it onto Dank Pingu. It's Chicken Thuggies is here as well, but taunts coming out from RX Genetics. Seafill flashing away. Save the Fishes trying to get away himself. Ultimate coming out from Seafill, but does not matter because Genetics has taunt once again. And Pingu looking for potential play, but Inbred Loser using the pull to cancel that out. Genetics will also fall. Ibon decides to take the red buff. It's a shutdown going over to this Darius, and this is getting a little bit scary. Some gold coming back into the pockets of this very strong top laner. And Vibon sitting around this third Drake now, looking to take it on spawn. Multiple members coming in for the side of BBC. They do not want to give this one up. And Bread Loser will be here. Save the Fishes already ready and in position. Them's not here yet. Polaris rotating over from the bottom side. This could be a decent flank. The Polaris will get jumped on. Will manage to stun up Save the Fishes. Dang Pingu is here as well now. And multiple members now that are coming down. Genetics in the middle. Multiple people. Oh, the Chicken Thug is just getting stunned up completely. Ember Loser falling quickly after. Sunny Waffle not able to survive even in that ultimate. Seafill doing his best onto Demps, but unfortunately too many members of Still Remains are alive. Full ace for 0 in the favor of Still Remains, and this is starting to look a little bit bad. BBC, you're going to have to come up with something for this game number 5, because right now it is looking like we're headed to Silver Scrapes. Even with this low damage composition, an 8k gold lead is going to do quite a lot. Creates a lot of tankiness, a lot of level experience difference, and if we take a look at the experience difference for this team, which is somewhere in my overlay. Here we go. Lars with the most in Red Loser, not too far behind, but then Genetics and Vibon quite a bit above. And if we, I mean, Save the Fishes is behind even Demps. It's absolutely insane. Multiple teleports now coming out for the top lane. The arm guard will come out. Lars will try to survive for as long as he can. And he's surviving for a long time. Will kill off Save the Fishes. Get enough of a health bar back. Inbred Loser will not be able to complete that kill, and will instead go down to Tank Pingu, who is on a killing spree. Chicken Thuggy is now up here along with Sunny Waffle, but Seafill not able to pump out any damage in that team fight. This is not good for BBC. Lars was in a good spot to get ganked and still did not manage to take him down. Only barely, but still, in a 3v1, Lars manages to pull that one off. 8.5k gold lead at 21 minutes into the game. Baron up and available for the Silvermane's team, and if they want to push the pace of this game, they need to start setting up for it. They cannot afford to allow some of these champions to scale. Seafill already super far behind, still only 1 item completed versus the 2 of his lane opponents. He completes that Archangel staff. It's going to be quite a bit more difficult to kill him off. Already a fully stacked tier available for him. Sunny Waffle already has 35 stacks, has the Malignants, now has the Rhyolife, so going to be a little bit more difficult. Seafill, though, going to get jumped on by Genetics here. Half his health bar almost immediately. Oh, but he will get away. No taunt available just yet. Dang Pingu looking for potential play here. We'll get clawed up. Oh, the ultimate coming out from Vibon, though. Very, very tanky. Sunny Waffle will take a little bit of damage. We'll get stunned up. A whole lot more. Demps, not really a whole lot of damage just yet. Is going for a completed... He has the Oblivion Orb now going for a completed Morellonomicon, which is not usually the way that you play that particular item, but We'll see how that ends up. Ding Pingu sniffing out Save the Fishes here. Will find him. Has to run for his life. Polaris is in the area. He feels going to try to pump some damage into this top laner, but not really doing a whole lot. Matrix is close by as well with that Galio ultimate available. Top lane with under threat here. The tier 2 being cleared out by Seafill, who does have a decent amount of wave clear at this point in the game. Does have that Archangel staff.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Baron now being set up, cleared out by UBC. They need to maintain vision on this objective. Silvermane sneaks it. Is able to create pressure enough to take it. Going to be very difficult for them to come back in this game. Still an 8k gold lead. Four members of Silvermane's on this top side. 3 of them in the mid lane. Lars starting in bottom, and now it's Silvermane's turn to fight for the chickens. No tier 2s left on the bottom side, only in mid and top lane. Drake coming up in 20 seconds. This will be the soul for Silvermane's. Some vision set up. Rift Scuttle taken for the side of BBC. Ultimate now coming out for Save the Fishes and Seafill. Looking for RX Genetics here. Will they be able to find him? No flash available for this. Galio will be taken down, but that basically guarantees the Drake going over to the side of Silvermane's. It will be the Chemtech Soul. And this is actually a lot better for the side of Silvermane's than it is for BBC. Given how many tanky members are available, you're going to do so much more damage. Lars, though, spotting out Inbred Loser, has to use the Ghost. Will not manage to get the stun off. Will be running for his life. Libon looking for potential play on Save the Fishes, but will not manage to get it. Red Loser looking to make some moves onto Dabs. 41 stacks on this Swain. Another one connected. Now Chicken Thuggy in a lot of trouble. Will get spotted out, but the Claw going on to Pingu will be in trouble of his own. Inbred Loser, though. Arcgenex using the ultimate. Save the Fishes in the back line with Seafill, trying to make something happen. Polaris trying to make something happen in the front line. Save the Fishes will claim Demps. Excuse me, Seafill will claim Demps, but Save the Fishes will be claimed in response. Multiple members of BBC will fall now. A 2 for 2, excuse me. The bot lane going down for the top from jungle. Now Seafill soon to follow. Chicken Thuggy's trying to get her mid laner out of there, but cannot manage to do it as Polaris takes the mid lane turret. Will rotate up towards that top side, trying to take that one as well. Going to clear out some vision, set up for this Baron. Gold lead has shrunk a little bit, but still going to be in the favor of Silvermane's. Teleport now coming out for Polaris as they look to take this Baron. Next being taken a little bit low, but multiple members here. Demps is on his way out as well. This Baron does go down relatively fast. Next does need to be careful. Sunny Waffle is on the way out. 9k left. The Blast Gun will give Save the Fishes a target, but he is a little bit too far ahead. And Silvermane just turns straight onto him. He will fall, but not before Demps falls. Oh, excuse me. He will not fall. Now he will. Demps will fall first, though. Sunny Waffle popping the ultimate, but it's just too late. Lars jumps on top of him. Thank Pingu looking for the stun, but will not find it. Instead, it will be the Sejuani stun. Polaris is dominating on Chicken Thuggies, and Seafill falls to Vibont for a double kill. Inbred Loser, the final remaining member of his team, as Silvermane's return to this Baron. The fight almost looked good for a moment. Save the Fishes just a little bit too early. On that play. Now, this Baron will go down a little bit slower. Polaris will catch the top side, trying to make this an ace, but Inbred Loser not going to let him. Ultimate coming out for the Darius. Ooh, okay. Gen X will come in to save his top laner. Okay, left on this Baron. Still has not gone down. Now it will. Big purple worm for every single member of Silvermanes. They will wear that cloak like kings as they push towards this reverse sweep. In the previous game was a 3-1 win. Silvermanes looking to make this one go all the way. They want this series badly. And a little bit surprising, but not really, if you think about it. Silvermanes was one of the undefeated teams in the league. Took a couple of losses, but they seem to have learned a little bit from their mistakes and are coming back stronger for it. Even with a substitute jungle, they have been looking very good in some of these games. They have gotten a lead in the early game. Game number 2, they weren't able to close out with that lead. Fell prey to the smolder, but no more scaling available. Not nearly the same type of scaling anyway. Sunny Waffle looking to defend this turret here in the mid lane. Seafill going to try his hand at it now. Red Loser going to protect this bottom turret against Polaris. It is a war of attrition and is not one that Big Bird Club is likely to win without some action. And Red Loser going a little bit too far will take the Ignite away from Polaris. Save the Fish is now going to rotate over instead. Still 3 members here in the mid lane. Now rotating towards bottom side. Dougie does need to be careful here. Seafill going to put a little bit of damage down. Demps going to deal some damage to this turret now. There's 1 plate remaining for this mid lane turret. Oh, Pingu going in. Inbred Loser trying to do some damage, but RX Genetics is here. This turret goes down. I think Pingu will fall to Sunny Waffle. Ooh, Inbred Loser falls, and that is most of their damage. Seafill, though, has a decent amount of his own. Save the Fish is trying to create some space here. RX Genetics does teleport back in, but that might be to his death. Ebon, not really a whole lot of damage here. Save the Fishes will try to kill him off. Polaris, you can't really be there, buddy. Next, won't waste his TP. A little bit frustrating, but will be a 1-4-2 in the favor of BBC now. Looking a little bit better. They did lose their mid lane turret. The base was cracked. Elder is now up and available. There are more members of BBC on the map. Demps with still 14 seconds remaining and no teleport available. BBC need to get out there now. Need to play. The ultimate comes out from the Nocturne. Red Loser teleporting in. Oh, finds Polaris. That's not the target you want. The stun comes out from Vibon on that ulti. Dark Genetics is coming in, and Red Loser trying to find something, but just fighting Dank Pingu, not really finding anything. Arc Genetics, though, creating so much space. Demps with the ultimate. Ooh, a good claw, but Seafill gets jumped on immediately. Sunny Waffles, the last remaining member, has a lot of healing, has Chicken Thuggies, but no longer. Just him left. 3 members of Silvermanes jumping on his... Well, I'm not going to finish that part. But 3 members marching it down mid with a full wave behind them. 24 seconds, 15 seconds on Save the Fishes. And they finish in time. Likely not, but they are going to attempt it here. Even if they fail, the only thing they would give over is the Elder. There will be 1 turret taken. 1 second left on Save the Fishes, who does have the ultimate. Will go for Polaris, who uses the stopwatch immediately. What a good bait from the top laner of Silvermanes. They are doing it. It's time. It is Silver Scrapes, ladies and gentlemen. All right, everyone. Welcome back for game number 5. I hope you all enjoyed Silver Scrapes, and I hope you all enjoy the guest we have here. It is Blackmage joining me on the desk for this final game. Blackmage, how you feeling about this one?
Really good. I mean, I'm really excited to be here. You know, I was at my niece's birthday party and was able to, hop in a few times and check out the matches. I definitely did not expect this to go 5 games. I'm super excited that it does because now it just makes tomorrow all that more exciting. And yeah, I'm just excited to be here.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. We just had the lower seed beat the higher seed in our previous match, and now we have a potential. I mean, BBC has gone undefeated this entire series or this entire season, and now may falter at the very last step. Like it's just absolutely insane. So I'm very excited to see it. But let's hop straight into picks and bans. Bans already done, pretty much the same as this previous series. Mbessa, Syndra, and Zillion for the side of Silvermanes. Sun Zhao, Shen, and Wukong for the side of BBC.
Yeah, Ashe is locked in for the side of BBC. Which is interesting because the Seraphine is already taken away, but that's probably going to be a Pantheon support to support the Ashe in that bot side. Meanwhile, SM going ahead and electing the Vel'Koz. I mean, we've seen that flexed into the support role plenty of times. It can also be played as an AD carry as well. I mean, we're really just going to have to wait and see what they do with that pick, but one of those champions that can play in both lanes fairly easily.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a flex pick for the side of Silvermanes. Also, Pantheon, a decent flex. Ashe could also be a flex. We don't really know. It's not very common that we see it in support anymore, but we're starting to get deep into these champion pools here. And honestly, I'm excited to see how that ends up going because BBC, as mentioned previously, they've mostly played best of 3s. And were this a best of 3, they would have already won. But it's a best of 5. And so some of the champ pools are starting to get deep, and we're starting to see some uncomfortable champions come out for all of these players. So I'm really excited to see it. I think this game 5 is going to be a banger.
Yeah, I think SM has a chance to grab Poppy in this scenario against this Pantheon. I feel like Poppy would be good as a support answer into Pantheon. It's also good as a jungler answer into Pantheon. But they go ahead and just grab the Malphite. But here's one thing I noticed is that Sylas has already been taken off the table in game 3, so no chance of a Sylas counter there for the side of BBC.
Yep, this is a really smart pickup from the side of Silvermanes. Malphite is completely available. No counter up. Was taken 2 games ago. Nami, though, covered here as the pairing with Ashe, and this is not really one of my favorite pairings. Ashe, I mean, Nami is good in the support role just in general, but with Ashe, it's not exactly what I think of when I think, an Ashe play. You already have that built-in slow, and yes, it is buffed by the Nami, but it really, I just don't think it works nearly as well as some other pairings.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I feel like maybe even like a Karma would have made more sense in Nami's position. You get a little bit more poke out in that lane. That being said, we still don't really know where this Vel'Koz is going. And, Vel'Koz Sivir is just not one of those lanes that you really see too often in the bot side. I know that with Sivers that max the W, you do get a lot of poke just by virtue of the AD carry and the support sitting around the lane too long, or the minions too long. So I'm interested to see if that's kind of their angle, right? They just tried to out-poke the Nami, out-sustain her, keep them off the wave nonstop, and, play in that direction. But really, we're just going to have to wait and see what Silvermanes decides to elect to play in their jungle role. I don't anticipate the Malphite to actually be in the jungle.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it seems like BBC are anticipating that Vel'Koz support, or at least trying to push it more towards the mid lane, because they've banned out genetics. They've taken away the Twisted Fate and the Neferi. Neferi, obviously a flex between mid and jungle, but we do know that genetics plays it, so good ban towards them. Ooh, the Mordekaiser coming out finally for BBC. I feel like that's a good takeaway from Polaris.
Yeah, it is a good takeaway. BBC, correctly assessing that Mordekaiser is one of the last champions on the table that players likes to play. I don't know if Polaris plays any of the champions that are pretty strong in the Mordekaiser. You know, a lot of the ones that come to mind are actually fairly, range focus, and he's just not really that play. That Olaf is not bad into Mordekaiser, but I'm not sure if Polaris plays it. I'd be very interested to see if this is an Olaf top.
And I'm going to make a small prediction before this final pick. I'm going to say it's Olaf top, Malphite mid, Vel'Koz support, and we're about to get a jungle pick. That would be my guess. It looks like I am wrong. It will be Malphite mid, Vel'Koz support, Scion top, and Olaf jungle. So I was really only wrong about really one champion, I feel like.
I don't necessarily know if it's Olaf jungle. Olaf is a great top laner into Mordekaiser, especially once you get your ultimate. You can, pop your ultimate. Mordekaiser can't pull you into the death realm, and you're able to essentially just run him down. That's a Jace mid.
Polaris, of course, on the Olaf, like you mentioned, and then Jace in the top side. We saw Jace mid in the previous series. We'll have to see how this works out top lane, especially into an Olaf. It'll be very interesting.
And just for seeking purposes, Mr. Matrix, what time are you on in this replay?
I am currently at 54 seconds. We should be synchronized.
Perfect. We are completely safe. All right.
All right. Awesome.
So, in this matchup, Polaris, as long as he's able to stick on top of Inbred, will win this early. The problem becomes when Inbred can actually use his range advantage and kite effectively and knock Polaris back. But if Polaris can make it to level 6 and is not that far behind, he will effectively be able to just run down Jace every single time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he did take the Ghost as well. That should really help with running down that Jace. And that's going to make things really difficult, especially if he's able to land those axes. And once he gets to level 6, he's not going to be able to get knocked back anymore. And that's going to be a real problem for that top lane. We saw how Polaris was playing in that matchup in the previous game. Did an amazing job on the Jax into the Darius, which is normally a pretty tough skill matchup. It's kind of up to whoever gets first blood or the most help from the jungler. So we'll see if Polaris can do it again. If that Olaf just absolutely pops off and carries the mid game.
Yeah, something to I'm a little bit scared about in terms of BBC's team comp is later in the game, Seafill is going to have to make a choice of who to ultimate. Whether that's Scion or Vibon on this Malphite. He's not going to be able to ult Polaris, assuming that Polaris pops his ultimate correctly. Demps, assumingly, is going to be too far back to be ulted, and same with Dang Pengu. So if he ults the Scion or the Olaf, I think there's too many tools on the side of Silvermanes to be able to actually just get yourself out of the fight. I think if you are gone, there's no tanks left on the side of BBC, and they can effectively run down the squishy characters. I really wonder if Seafill is actually going to use his ultimate too often.
Yeah, it's going to be really tricky, right? I think the main time you would want to use your ultimate is around some of those objective fights. Speaking of objective fights, though, Vibon and Save the Fishes will find each other. Malphite is going to do a lot of damage, but force flash away from Seafill. Genetics is a little bit low, I guess, and just decided not to help. First blood, though, goes over to the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, flash is burnt for both the mid laner and the jungler. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Vibon is definitely not going to appreciate the early death in the top jungle. It's definitely going to put Save the Fishes in a good position moving forward. And here's the thing. Malphite is not one of those junglers that does very well if you get behind early. So definitely a strong win already for the side of BBC. We're going to have to see if they're able to turn this around.
Yeah, and of course Mordekaiser loves early gold, right? And first blood gold is going to be some of the most he can get. He's also really going to be able to prevent Genetics from doing exactly what he wants to do, which is do the wave and try to get as much as he can, because he just gets pulled every time. Vibon, though, looking for a little bit of revenge here.
I think it's silly. I think Mordekaiser with Blasting Wand can 2v1 them at this point very easily. So
Speaking of 2v1ing Chicken Thuggies.
Yeah, Demp's getting the kill early on the Chicken Thuggy. We didn't anticipate that. I actually was moving my camera around to the top side and watch this mid lane battle. And in the meanwhile, Demp's getting the kill for himself. So some nice scaling on the side of Silvermanes is going to help them definitely going into this mid game.
Yeah, Dumps is where you want this early money. Genetics really just kind of, I mean, we've talked about this before, tank matchups into bruiser or fighter matchups. Even top lane or mid lane, it doesn't really matter. It's really all on the fighter to make something happen. The tank is just going to want to sit back, farm as much as he can, but even if he doesn't get, you know, most of the way, if he just wants that experience, right? He really wants to level up.
100%. You know, this mid lane, Sion versus Mordekaiser, it's so rough. You know, Mordekaiser is going to be able to do whatever he wants against a Malphite Sion duo. And so the question becomes, you know, how do they play around this? And I really do feel like Vibon is going to have to spend a hell of a lot of time either in the top side or in the bot lane. If he spends any time at all, even any time remotely near this mid lane, I feel like it's just such a wasted time in general. And, you know, I think it will be their downfall. They really need to get Vibon rolling and pushing into the other lanes.
Yeah, I think if Vibon spends any amount of time bottom, it's going to be really hard for the side of BBC. That draft looks really rough because there is no mobility for either the Ashe or the Nami. You're going to have to send that jungler down there a lot more to protect this bot lane. First Dragon is up and available, though. We'll see which team decides they have more priority on it. Genetics is going to have a tough time in that mid lane, but bot lane is just going to get auto priority pretty much every time, thanks to Demps on that Sivir.
Laris trying to put the hurt down on Inbred Loser. He does have the ultimate, and he's going to start landing a lot of his Qs, but it doesn't seem like it's going to matter ultimately. Inbred Loser able to go back to his tower, and he's going to go ahead and get full health and reset. Meanwhile, in that bot side, like you had said, the Dragon is up, but it doesn't seem like either team really want to pull the trigger. It looks like both teams are trying to find some kind of advantage before they decide to actually take the objective.
It could be that Dank Pingu is looking for that ultimate before they go for it. Vibon does have that level 6 available, so the only remaining member that does not have full access to their kit is Dank Pingu on that Vel'Koz. Chicken Thuggy in the same boat, though, so...
Yeah. Dank Pengu notably does have blue buff, so he is able to throw out a lot of those abilities. And speaking of which, Sunny Waffle takes a whole lot of damage, but Demps is getting turned on immediately. Save the Fishies goes ahead and ults on in. He is going to get the kill on Dank Pengu, and Demps is going to be the next target. A double kill for Ryan on the side of BBC.
Man, you absolutely hate to see that, especially with how well that lane was going for so long, and it just... The turnaround in damage was absolutely nuts. It's not what I expected at all. But Save the Fishes did have access to that level 6. Does have way more range than Vibon does on that Malphite. He is sniffing around this Drake, though, trying to see if he can potentially look for a play.
This seems like a desperation play. Vibon, don't do it. Don't risk it. There's no need.
Yep.
Unless Dank Pingu has the ultimate, there's no way you can actually get in there and get out. And even if you stole the dragon, I really still don't think it's worth it. Yeah, the only way I think that play is worth it is if Pingu 6, you know, Vibon ults in, gets a kill onto Save the Fishes. They're able to steal the dragon. And then in a 1v1 situation where you take the dragon, yeah, that's worth it. But anything else than that, it's not going to work out. So glad that they decided to back off. Bit of a rough start for the side of Silvermanes, but that's, you know, it is what it is. They do have a rough start. We said it earlier that their early game would be pretty tough. You know, they've got some lane matchups that are not really looking too good for them. They really need to scale into that mid and late game. We're looking about, you know, 28 minutes before this Silvermane team really comes online, barring that, you know, their solo lanes just don't get some huge advantages.
Yeah, we're really going to need to see Silvermanes try to at least go even. If they fall too far behind, especially Polaris, it could end up being that Olaf never really scales up, but you know what?
Yeah, Vibon goes in and ults in, immediately is going to force the flash out of Ember Loser, but it looks like Polaris is not happy with that at all. He's going to go for the trade under the tower. Both Polaris and Ember Loser are going to fall, but it doesn't seem to matter too much for Vibon, who's going to get caught by Save the Fishes, and Seafill are going to run him down near his own top tower. And that's a kill going over to Seafill.
Seafill already has the Rylai's, by the way, so it's going to be even harder to get out of this passive from the Mordekaiser. It's just going to be incredibly annoying. And Seafill did use his flash for that, but he traded it for Vibon once again. And I really think that this Malphite pick just has not been working out. I'm wondering if they wanted to send it somewhere else and decided last minute that they were going to like move it around, because this just I don't know. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah, it looks like too much desperation for the side of Silvermanes. If I'm being honest, I feel like if this comp has anything else besides Malphite in the jungle, it works infinitely better. But I feel like Malphite just sets you at such a slow pace in this game where you already have really volatile lanes, that it just makes the game really hard, right? And, you know, it's not like it's the end of the world. They're only 1,000 gold ahead for the side of BBC. So Silvermanes definitely have a way back in this game, but I need to cut off what I'm saying because Demps is getting jumped on by 3 members of the side of BBC, and he's going to fall himself. A kill going over to Sunny Waffle. Demps definitely not respecting the fact that they did not have vision, really, on the jungler. Save the Fishes doing an excellent play in that bot side.
Yeah, they really need to get some deep vision. Ding Pingu has been doing a pretty good job. Oh, okay, well, I mean, in previous matches, he was doing a good job. This one, not so much.
Yeah, Pangu not expecting it either. Gets immediately knocked up and destroyed. That's 1 kill going over to, I believe that kill actually ended up going to Chicken Thuggy. Maybe I'm wrong. But 150 gold bounty on Ashe this early in the game definitely does not feel good. But here's the thing. Vibon is looking for revenge. Let's see if Demps and Vibon could do anything. Sunny Waffle throws out the W to try to get Vibon slowed down. Chicken Thuggy is going to be forced to flash out by Vibon's ultimate. And, you know, not the worst thing in the world. You get a flash down on Nami. Maybe you come back as Vibon and get a repeat gank.
Yeah, but I mean, you just saw Sunny Waffle flash on that Ashe, and you go for the person that has flash. I mean, I understand that it's a little bit hard to get, like, they started retreating a little bit quicker than maybe you would have liked, but I mean, you're picking the wrong target. You've got to go for the person that you absolutely 100% know does not have flash, and I don't know. Maybe BBC decided to just up the hype, and they decided to give Silvermanes 2 games just to make things look a little more interesting. Because this game looks a lot more in control by BBC.
Yeah. And, you know, BBC looking like they are the ones that want it more. They want to be in this finals really bad against Baggy Pampers. It is like it's set in stone. They have read the cards. They have marked down the prophecy. It's their names. They want to guarantee going to finals tomorrow. And it makes me reminisce. I reminisce about finals last year. Or, well, last season.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was at the beginning of this year, so almost last year.
That's true.
I mean, what, 4 months ago, I think? Something like that. Yeah.
Good times. One day, Benson will make a return. Mark my words. We will beat BBC in finals. We'll have to have BBC back in the finals a 3rd time if they end up winning today, just so that we can beat them. Meanwhile, on the top side, Vibon going ahead and ulting on to Inbred Loser, who doesn't seem like he's going to be better at all. Polaris is able to get the kill onto him, and that's going to be exactly what you want to see if you're a Silvermanes fan. Polaris starting to get a ball rolling, even though he's already 20 farm behind. The kills are definitely going to make you feel a lot better.
Yeah, is a little bit behind in CS and still a little bit behind in gold, but this Olaf is going to be a bit of a threat, and into an immobile carry like the Ashe, going to make things very difficult. But of course, you still have to deal with the... okay, well, speaking of one person you have to deal with, Save the Fish is now down here on to Demps. Does not have a way out.
Red team's turret has
Yeah,
been
it
destroyed.
really feels like Save the Fishes is just gotten Demp's number. He is down there every single time that Demps and Dank Pingu decide to walk past the 50. He immediately is ulting onto them and has pretty much guaranteed his team a kill every single time. I believe it's 3 times in a row now that he's been able to get a kill onto Demps using his ultimate cooldown. So just an excellent use of pressure. Dank Pengu is definitely feeling that same pressure, trying to make sure that his bot lane actually comes out of this game alive. And yeah, it's a tough game. I mean,
Ooh, so close.
so close. But Seafield's here to make sure that Dank Pengu can't follow him down. Meanwhile, the top side players is going to go ahead and ultimate to try to see if he can run down Save the Fishes. Here's the thing, though. He doesn't know that Ember loses right around the corner. Seafill, meanwhile, gets a kill onto Dank Pengu. Demps is down here trying to see if he can pick off Seafill with the help of Vibon, but it's not looking like it's going to be much at all that happens in this bot side. Seafill gets away with murder, and that's a 3-10 deficit. BBC looking on top of the world.
3k gold lead at 15.5 minutes into this game. 2 Drakes picked up. Also getting the Void Grubs off camera. They have complete early control of this game, and they are looking really, really good for taking this final one. Silver Scrapes was enough to get their attention, I suppose, and now we got 2 TPs coming out.
Yeah. You know, regardless of how this game ends, it's a great effort by all teams involved. And you know, if you're on Silvermanes, it's just a little bit heartbreaking. You know, you've gotten so far, you're so close to getting that final win, and that's when this kind of this gameplay really starts to affect you. So it looks like it's affecting Vibon a whole lot more. He goes ahead and ults in, but it's not for nothing. He goes ahead and dies immediately after. RX Genetics might be the next one. That's a double kill going over Save the Fishes. Demps might be the next here, and he is. That's a 3rd kill for the side of BBC. And man, it just feels like a bit of a desperation attempt on the side of Silvermanes trying to stay in this one.
Yeah, a bit of an odd decision from Vibon going in on the alternate members. I feel like at that point you just focus down Seafill. Even if you lose a couple of members, if you manage to pick him up, you snatch yourself a 400 gold bounty on top of the 300 you would get for killing him anyway. And he just goes on other members. It just seems like a really odd decision to me. Speaking of odd decisions.
Yeah, not respecting the vision control that was put down by BBC. They immediately punish him, jump on him, and get the kill. That's a 400 gold bounty for Seafill, a 650 gold bounty for Save the Fishes. Ryan, in general, is definitely making an effort to and you know, make it a stake as to why he deserves the MVP for this season. You know, when I think about the 2 power teams in this league and the players that really make those teams stick out, Save the Fishes, Death Star, these are the 2 players that I think about, and you know, Ryan is showing exactly why he deserves to be on that list. And here he goes again, immediately trying to jump on 2 players. He's going to pop the ultimate, try to get away. He is CC immune, so he should be able to walk on out of there, and he does with the help of Dank Pengu. Meanwhile, the bot side, RX Genetics and Seafill are going to get into a bit of the scuffle, but if I'm being honest, I don't think much is going to come out of this. You know, Sion's pretty tanky at this point.
Yeah, it does have 673 stacks on that passive ability. Is going to be a bit of a tanky boy. He does have that Hollow Radiance built first item as well, which is an interesting choice and not one that I think we typically see. I'm pretty sure... oh, Seafill is in a bit of trouble here. Chicken Tuggy on the way down, but...
He's got so much passive health regeneration, especially with the Conqueror stacks. He's going to be able to fight RX Genetics as long as he wants, and that's going to be a kill for Seafill. He's unstoppable. Not only that, but they got the turret kill as well on top of it with the help of Chicken Thuggy and Vibon. Can do nothing but watch on in horror as his friend dies. And not only that, but the dragon spawned as well. Save the Fishes is already on it. Dank Pengu trying to do what he can to do some damage onto Seafill. It's not going to result in pretty much anything as the 3rd dragon of the game goes over to BBC.
And I'm going to be honest. A Mountain Soul is going to make this game so much more difficult for Silvermanes. I mean, as an Olaf, as a as a Scion, how do you get through a Mountain Soul on Seafill or on Save the Fishes at this point?
Yeah, this is looking like a rough one. I feel like you really have to pray for the perfect team fight if you're on the side of Silvermanes. You have to get in a situation where it's a complete 5-on-5. Vibon and Polaris are able to get onto Ash and, you know, maybe save the fishes and kill one or the other fairly quickly early on in the team fight. That's pretty much the only opening you have. But Save the Fishes is doing so much damage here in the top side of the jungle. He's going to immediately kill Vibon as if he's the squishiest target in the game. And here's another thing that I just realized. Why the hell is Vibon building Dusk and Dawn? It doesn't matter. Meanwhile, Save the Fish is going to get a double kill on Dank Pengu. Brother, why does Malphite have Dusk and Dawn?
You know? I can't say this with certainty, but Vibon is a sub-jungle, and I have heard he came from a higher league, so I'm wondering if someone slid some money under the table for this game number 5. Polaris certainly trying to make something happen, but yeah, you're never outsmarting that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you know, it's a good try. You know, Polaris obviously is trying to do what he can to, you know, get any kind of advantage of the can for his team. You know, at this point, you really have to try for anything, and so you have to appreciate that. But yeah, maybe there is something about the Malphite build that I'm not understanding. I don't really feel like Malphite has any passive that actually links up with Dusk and Dawn. Seems a little sus to me, but yeah, Seafill on a rampage. In general, BBC look like they are wanting to close out this series and prove as to why they alone belong in finals. But you know what? We have to give so much credit to Silvermanes and what they've been able to accomplish over the past you know, few weeks, especially in this series. It just feels like they really played their heart out in the past 4 games.
Yeah, it's just it's so rough to see it end this way. I wanted a, you know, a very even back and forth, a slap fest between these two teams, and to see one of them just take absolute control while the other one looks like I mean, I don't know how else to say it other than throwing. You have multiple people with builds that just have huge question marks in them. You have this Vel'Koz bot lane that hasn't really managed to do anything and just constantly gets jumped on by, you know, Save the Fishes on this Pantheon. And I don't understand why we're playing this way. You know, we put all this effort in to even make the reverse sweep possible, and now we're just, what, throwing it away? Like,
yeah, it does seem a little scuffed. Some of, you know, how the lanes have turned out. I do think that maybe we are on the limit of some of these players' champion pools, which is why we've gotten some pretty weird compositions. Meanwhile, the bot side, Vibon's going to hold an ult on to 2 players, trying to do what he can to try to get any resemblance of a winning play, but he immediately gets ulted up by the Ashe and killed by Ryan on this Pantheon. Meanwhile, on the top side, Inbred Loser is going to finally get shut down. That's a kill over Dank Pengu. I'm not sure if that's necessarily who you want the goal going on to, but it's something is better than nothing. And meanwhile, on the bot side, BBC will secure this tier 2 tower. So at the end of the day, it is going to be probably all 3 tier 2 towers down. I do see that Sunny Waffle is pushing in the mid lane, but I don't believe she has enough damage. So Sunny Waffle is going to back off before that tower falls down. Dempsey is going to be able to clear that wave. So at the end of the day, a bit of a win for the side of Silvermanes. They are able to get a shutdown kill onto Dank Pengu. I just don't know how much that's worth, especially since Dank Pengu is still struggling to purchase his second item.
yeah, if you can call a 10k gold lead a win, I will I will agree with you. I do think we need to potentially check Sunny Waffle's computer, because I have not seen a single miss on these Ashe arrows, even some of these cross map ones. And I guess I guess this is game 5 worthy, because you need something to pull out.
Hey, this is something going on right now. RX Genetics gets a double knockup on the Chicken Thing and Seafoam. They're trying to turn the fight around. Dempsey's really low health, has to back off immediately. But gets it all ulted up by the Ashe. You might be right. The absolute packs are on board, but the double knockup comes through from Vibron, and he immediately falls soon thereafter. RxNX is going to fall soon thereafter as well. Dink Pengu is running for his life, and it doesn't seem like anything else is going to come of this fight. So what started off as a winning play for the side of Silvermanes ultimately does not amount to much. Players needs to be careful here, or him and Dink Pengu could be food for the slaughter. The jungler killed for the side of BBC, but the mid 80 carry and jungler killed on the side of Silvermanes.
Yeah, I mean, the way Polaris was running in there, I actually thought that fight was going to go slightly differently. I thought at least a couple more kills were going to come out for this this whole off, but you just kind of, I think they saw Seafill wrapping around behind, and they were like, all right, we can't afford this guy just, getting a flank off on us. Polaris need to come back and defend, and it just ended up being the end of the fight.
Yeah, Seafill is in a position where he is just so strong that he really doesn't need to ult anyone. He could just sit inside of the team fight, does so much healing, does so much damage. He never really has to ultimate ever throughout the entire fight. He's got the Immortal Path boots. Fully upgraded because of by virtue of him going mid. Those are extremely strong on Mordekaiser in the current patch. It's something that's kind of underutilized. And we do have a fight breaking out. Polaris is trying to do what he can, but like you said, he just got absolutely blown up.
Oh,
by
there's one miss.
RxGenetic. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just said there's one Ash Arrow miss. That one went wide.
Yeah, 1 out of 30. RxGenetic falls soon thereafter. And the rest of the squad is rolling on in. BBC about to lay down the pipe onto the side of Silvermane. So it doesn't look like Dempsey's there for much longer. He immediately gets blown up by Sunny Waffle. They're going to go ahead and take this tier 2 or the tier 1 tower, and now they're moving on to the inhibitor. I think they're going to get the inhibitor and back off, but it's looking like you're going to need a miracle if you're on the side of Silvermanes. If you're a Silvermane fan, you are praying for the absolute best play possible, and I don't know how it's going to come about.
Yeah, 13k gold lead, Mountain Soul, Baron coming up, is already up, excuse me. Elder in 4 minutes, if we even make it that long. I mean, I just don't, at this point, I just don't see how Silvermanes gets back in the, I mean, you have to catch Seafill on the opposite side of the map where nobody else is anywhere nearby and hope that you can trade at least like 1 for 2, but they will catch Inbred Loser like here.
Like this? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly like that. But you really need it on Seafill, honestly. I mean, Inbred Loser is strong, but he's nowhere near as strong as this Mordekaiser. 9-0-4. 3 completed items and a full ring.
Yeah, he's got 700 gold in bounty. He's looking absolutely terrifying. Yeah, I feel like this is the kind of play that you needed to do much earlier in the game. That being said, credit should be, given where it's due. Silvermanes did end up doing a good play, and so let's see if they can keep up some sort of momentum. Being that Silver Scripts, you always want to vote for the underdogs. You always want to root for them, see if they can do anything to get back in the game, and so that's what we're doing now. Just trying to find some kind of way that Silvermanes can get back into this one. It's looking really rough, but, as the game moves on longer, they do get a little bit stronger. The problem is that you're dealing with a team that has the Mountain Soul already at 28 minutes and a significant gold lead, to the point where it's almost looking like they could just lose a 3v5. So really gonna have to wait and see what happens in this one, but they are starting to siege on this bot side.
Yeah, 924 stacks on that Scion Soul passive. I forget what the actual name of it is, but it's Soul something. He is going to be a tanky boy. He does have a decent amount of items, but I don't think he's tanky enough. 3 levels down on Seafill, 2 on Save the Fishes, and even Sunny Waffle is a level up on the Scion, which is not what you want to see. So it's going to be a tough defense for Silvermanes here. They're going to have to give it their absolute all.
And they've got RxGenetic in the top side. Meanwhile, it's a 4v4 on this bot side. Let's see if Vibon and Polaris decide to pull the go button in time, or if it's going to be Save the Fishes. It looks like Save the Fishes pulled the trigger first. The ultimate's going to come down onto Demps, and Demps and Dink Pingu are immediately taken out. Meanwhile, RxNext doing what he can to get any damage on to save the fishes in Seafield, but it's nothing that's going to happen. Meanwhile, Sunny Waffle is free flowing in the back line. He's going to be able to take out that inhibitor. Meanwhile, Seafield is legendary. Legendary, just like the side of BBC. It looks like they have the finals in their sights, and they're not going to let anyone stop them. It's BBC versus BP in the finals. Round of applause for all the teams involved. BBC just wanted it that much more.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We have Seafield, the mid laner for Big Bird Club. How are you guys feeling remaining undefeated even in playoffs?
Yeah, you know, we had some ups and downs, but definitely a lot more ups than downs. So we're just happy we were able to pull it away. Sylvamains gave up a good fight. Absolute pleasure playing against them, and going to Game 5 was sweet, especially with Fearless.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you guys got very deep into your champion pool. It looked like there was a little bit of uncomfortability in, especially game number 4, and I think both myself and Blackmage were a little bit worried about some of the champ pools of some of the players, but it seems like Sylvamains, they were the first ones to kind of fall through on that champion pool. So, how are you guys feeling about your finals tomorrow?
Yeah, you know, finals tomorrow will be good. We've played BP on Thursday, right? So we have the prep ready. We've watched their series earlier today against Black Rose. So looking forward to it. I'm sure it'll be a great game. Hopefully another 5-game banger.
Yeah. You know, just having been watching your team and you kind of compete throughout this season, it's been really impressive to see how you've come together and really evolved over even last season with the Bonanza tournament. Do you feel like the core members of your team really have come together and kind of evolved into what the team as it is now? And do you feel like you've hit your ceiling, or do you still feel like you're improving as the days go on?
I mean, I think that our team synergy is always improving, and it's been very helpful to have the same team since that first tournament, right?
Yeah.
The synergy and the ability for us to play off of each other's weaknesses and make them into strengths. There's some habits that some players on the team will have, and now that we have the experience and have played with those players for so long, we just know how to play with it instead of having it go against us. So it's definitely an asset for sure. I think we're always improving.
Yeah, you guys definitely looked like you were playing really well together. Even when you know, you guys were not doing so well or losing a little bit, it still felt like you guys were making coordinated plays. It wasn't like one person just going off and doing their own thing. So it was really cool to see you guys work together like that, and I honestly can't wait to see it in the finals. Do you have any spicy words for Baggy Pampers for tomorrow?
I mean, I don't like to talk trash, so I'll keep that to some of my other team members, but I think that our first series was good, but I'm hoping they put up a little more of a fight this time. So,
All right. Well, a little bit more of a fight. Anyone else you want to shout out on your team real quick?
Yeah, I mean, I think today was really tough for the entire team. We definitely haven't been tested like this before, especially when sometimes drafts didn't go the way that I'd planned. We'd prepped, so I just think that it was great for the team to be able to keep their mental when we easily could have lost it. So very proud of everyone. Glad that we were able to hold through to the last game, get some champs that we felt good on, some good matchups, but just overall great spirit.
There you go.
Awesome. Excited to see you and Baggy Pampers duke it out tomorrow. It's going to be really exciting. I think a lot of the fans are really looking forward to it. And just do you have any words for the people watching, for the fellow Discord members?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great that we're able to play in front of everyone and all of our friends. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully we can put on a good show. And yeah, go BBC though.
Yes, sir.
All right. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. We will be watching with bated breath. So go enjoy, celebrate with your team, and prep for tomorrow.
Thanks. Appreciate you guys casting. No, it's a lot. So always appreciate that there's someone to do it. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks.
Hell yeah.